And okay, so it's been an amazing January. I believe that's how it's been for me also. And once again, thank you for being here with us. This session promises to be exciting, and I love that at this very early, period in the new year, we're at the point where we're considering every and any opportunity that helps us to get answers to things that have been blocking us from getting jobs. I believe that for you to be on the call today, you've taken a tech course, you're trying to get a job, you're still yet to, right? You live in the UK or maybe the US or Canada, right? And you're on the call with us today. So anything that will help you get a job is what we will be treating on the call. And please, if you have friends, colleagues, family members that you know have also taken that step, they've taken a course, they're struggling to get a job, this session will be very helpful to them. Share the link and invite them. One thing I always say is, what's better than being the only person winning, right? It's having more people within your squad, right, also winning alongside you. I know that this session is going to be worth your time. That's why I'm saying if you have people that you know have been struggling to land a tech job, please share with them so they can also be a part of the session. But by the way, it's amazing to have you on the call with us. My name is Omori Victoria Samsi. And we get to meet each other right about now. So I'd like us to type in the chat, right, your location and your goal for the year 2026. Professional goal, by the way, your location, right, in the UK, or if you're outside the UK, that's also fine. Your location and your goal for the year 2026. I believe that when we set out into a new year, there are things that we, aim or hope to achieve. Sometimes your goal is to get a job. Sometimes your goal is to add to your knowledge, right? Other times your goal is to get promoted at work. For me, my goal is to see more people get into the Amdari program and gain real-world experience through the internship that we deliver, and have more people who would be landing tech jobs. That's my goal, right? To help more people in tech transition seamlessly, right, and land their first job in this year. We did that last year, but I'm increasing, the number for myself. I'm like, okay, but if to help a lot more people get jobs, it's going to be a great year for me, to be honest. Okay, thank you, Abimbola. So Abimbola is taking the lead. Abimbola says she's joining from Sunderland. Goal is to get remote data analytics. So awesome. Thank you so much, Abimbola. Do we have another person that wants to share their goal? So what's your goal for the year 2026, right? What do you hope to achieve? I believe some people are still typing. Yes, so Teniola says, Watford, the goal is to get project management job. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Teniola. I would like to get more people tell me what their professional goal is, right? And Jennifer is joining from Durham. She hopes to get a remote job in data analysis, very similar to what Abimbola said. Let's have more people share what their goal, again, professional goal for the year is, right? But once again, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being a part of this. And please stick around because I will be sharing some nuggets, some insights that would be of help and will come in handy for every goal that you're typing right now. So I am glad that I have prepared for this session, and I am not off your goal at all. Like, I am in alignment with your goal. Thank you, Chidima. She says Canada remote job in data analytics. We have a lot of people who are planning to get data analytics job this year. Beautiful. So is that all the people that want to, I want the session to be very interactive, very engaging. So indulge me, drop messages in the chat, converse with me via the chat. For now, I'll still allow people to unmute towards the end of the session when I start taking questions, and maybe in the course of the conversation also, I would also hear from one or two people. But I promise you, we're going to have fun. This session is not going to be your typical uptight session where everybody is just listening to one boring lecture from Omomi. No, that's not going to be the case. This is going to be very interactive, and I would love for you to also freely express yourselves in the chat. And like I said, I would still allow one or two people in the course of the conversation to speak, and then we'd also hear ourselves at the end of the session so that we can ask questions and all that. So Dolapo says UK remote job in web design. Beautiful, Dolapo. Beautiful. You are at the right place. I promise you. Napisat says I want remote data. I believe she said analytics, right? Because there is like an incomplete sentence there. Then we have okay, you completed it, yes. And as well a project management job. Okay, beautiful. Is that possible? 100% Nafisat. I promise you it's possible. And at the end of the session, you will see how possible that is. Okay. Important. I believe you have a real name, right? So Canada remote job as a SOC analyst. You are at the right place, right? The topic we're treating today is the missing step between your tech training and landing your first job in tech, right? Your tech training and landing your first job. And I'd like you to work with me, right? Work with me step by step as I break this down on the call today, right? So what that missing step is, we will address it. Why is the major blocker? Why is the reason why you're struggling to get a job? We will get to that, right? So Olunike says from Manchester, I want to get a remote data analytics job. Wilson, US, land a cybersecurity job. I'm already undergoing training. Beautiful. Like I said, the session is talking about the tech training, right? The step that is missing between your tech training and landing your first job. So like I said, everybody on the call, honestly, it feels like I'm in alignment with what your goal for the year is. And then we have Patrick, who says he's seeking for a data analyst role. We have Omomi, who says, I want to be able to get a real life experience, learning how to use important tools, and get a remote job in project management. I already have my PMP, but I need real life experience. Is this an Omomi thing, right? Do we talk too much? Do we like to say a lot? Because Omomi's goal and breakdown is just lengthy, and I can relate because I can be like that as well. Thank you so much, Omomi. Taha Nasir, Birmingham, short-term goal to become a penetration tester, and long-term goal is to make a cybersecurity consultancy firm. Amazing, amazing. I love that, Nasir. That was really, really beautiful. And that's a great goal. Honestly, that's a beautiful goal. So thank you all so much for joining. It's a pleasure to be here today and to speak to you on the call. Like I said earlier, please, if you have friends, colleagues, family members that you know a session like this will benefit, share the link with them, let them join us and also benefit from the conversation, right? So if you're joining Amdari for the first time, can you give me a thumbs up? Or if you have joined us before, give me a thumbs down. You are joining Amdari for the first time, a thumbs up. Okay, Momi first time, Unike first time, Chidima first time, Jennifer. You've joined us before, give me a thumbs down. But so far, I am seeing Anifa and every other person saying they are joining us for the first time. It's always a pleasure to speak to new people every time. So I don't see any thumbs down. Does that mean everybody here is a new person? Meeting Amdari, hearing about Amdari for the first time. If that is the case, beautiful. Thank you for joining us. I would introduce Amdari, what we do, and how we can help you achieve this goal that you all have listed in the chat, right? Amdari is that perfect platform that helps you gain real-world experience delivered through internship. We help professionals who are taking tech courses already gain real-world experience delivered through internship. How this internship plays out, how we work with you to help you achieve the needed experience that sets you apart, makes you stand out, right? And makes you that perfect candidate to any recruiter in the UK, US, or Canada. That's exactly what Amdari does. And how we do that is what I'll be breaking down in the conversation today. For the career paths that we focus on at the moment, and the career paths that you see on my screen, data analytics, data science, data engineering, business analysis, project management, SOC and threat intelligence, ethical hacking and penetration testing, GRC, that's governance, risk, and compliance, product design. I know somebody typed in the chat that they want to get a web design job, right? Then we have app and cloud security and also DevOps, right? So these programs are currently the programs that we provide work experience in. So if you've taken a course in all of these career paths, can you give me a thumbs up? Again, the conversation is around the missing step between your tech training and you getting a job. Thank you, Molly. Thank you, Nike. So, all right, thank you, Jiro. So you've taken a course already. Give me a thumbs up. You've not taken a course, thumbs down. Thank you, Bolu and Nafisa. Thumbs down if you're here to take a course. Oh, Bonnie says no. Abimbola, yes. Beautiful. We have more yeses. Just one no so far. Okay. Aderemi says no also. Ikmat, no. Okay, okay. Trust me, the session is for everybody. You're yet to take the course, you would understand the next steps after you've taken the course. So it's like you're here early, so you won't have to be stuck for so long. That's what this means, right? So like I said earlier, right, the session promises to be worth your while. So what am I going to be addressing? The hamster wheel, right? This concept is very, very important in this conversation, and you would understand why. Then the unemployment math and how to solve the problem. So if you're in the hamster wheel, for example, you would know why and how you can break out of it. Then the Amdari work experience internship and also the special offer that I have for you. So I have said so much. You all have introduced yourselves. You told me, I mean, I saw your names, right? You told me where you're joining from, as well as your goal for the year. So I'll also share that with you, right? My goal for the year, who I am, what I currently do. My name is Omawumi Victoria Samson, one of the co-founders at Amdari, and also the Chief Technology and Business Officer. I've worked across the EdTech space, film tech, and marketing in the capacity of a software developer, product manager, and also business analyst. And in the last 1 year at Amdari, I've been able to help over 2,000 professionals gain real-world experience, again through internship, and quite a number of them have been able to land jobs. In fact, some of them have landed visa sponsorship jobs. And like I said earlier, my goal for this year is to triple or quadruple that number. And trust me, with the help of the amazing team at Amdari, the specialists who are like your team leads for every intern in the program, right? They are the team leads, the entire team essentially works closely to make sure that we are able to achieve this. So Amdari is an amazing, amazing place to gain experience. Now, Amdari is not just the framework of, oh, Omawumi has introduced herself. Like I said earlier, I am one of the co-founders at Amdari. So we have Ifemena Ipro, right? A tech expert across the data ecosystem and tech space in general. He has worked as a data science contractor and consultant across the UK, US, and Canada. Currently the co-founder of Amdari and Analytics. He has helped over 2,000 professionals as well transition into tech. And when I say transition, please, I am not referring to, oh, we help you get the knowledge. No, he has also helped them not just get the knowledge, but also land the job, right? And he's very familiar with the pain points that everybody on this call today is either going through at the moment or they've gone through. Oh, I've taken a course. I moved to the UK from Nigeria. I'm currently doing menial jobs. I'm working in the healthcare space and I don't really like it. I want something better. I want something remote. I want business sponsorship. He has gone through that as well. And he was able to go from working in the warehouse in the UK to landing his first tech job and landing his visa sponsorship role also. And again, Amdari was birthed from a place of personal experience and pain points. We understand the need for experience when you relocate to the UK because nobody's going to hire you, right? Everybody's going to say something. Do you have work experience in the UK? Do you have experience working in the UK, etc.? So currently, Ifemena is based in Alberta, Canada, right? Then we have Adeza Suleiman, amazing tech expert also. He has helped over 8,000 professionals gain real-world experience, transition, right, and also land jobs even in the NHS. He's currently the co-founder or rather the founder of Analytics and co-founder of Amdari. He has helped, okay, I mentioned that already. Now he has worked across the data space, data science and data analytics space as a consultant, business performance officer, right, with Sahara Groups, and also works as a business and data analytics consultant with FITC. Now he has worked across sports, financial services, EdTech, energy, and automobile, and he is currently based in Alberta, Canada. So, like I said, Amdari is birthed from a place of personal experience. One thing I skipped in my own story is also the fact that when I took the tech course, I also had to like go through internship before I could land my first job in tech, right? And that first job I landed became the job that sponsored my reputation. So most times, the major thing you need to do is just get your leg in the door, right? Get your leg in the door, and you go from there to being that candidate that's seen as somebody who can be trusted with more. And at the end of the day, these are the things that recruiters look out for. So when you complain of being unemployed today, can you tell me in the chat what you think the major blocker is? What do you think is blocking your chances of getting a job? Just type it in the chat, right? By the way, I see every other introduction that came in after we started, from Ejiro, from Ahmad, etc. So thank you all for joining. So one major blocker that is stopping you from landing your first job in tech, Nafisat says less skills. Thank you very much, Nafisat. Who else is going to tell me what's blocking them from landing a job in tech? Right? Just share with me one major blocker that you feel like is stopping you from landing the job. I want to believe we all have figured it out, right? It would be nice to know. Sometimes I say that once we identify the problem, it's easy to find a solution, right? So if you're on the call today, I want to believe it's because you've done some form of gap analysis and you already know that this is my major gap, right? And I think this is what I need. So Harry says low soft skills. Okay, amazing. Wilson, skill gap and lack of experience. Beautiful. Anifat, UK work experience. Awesome. Hamad, the lack of portfolio. I love the fact that everybody's coming from different angles, right? Different angles. So now that I have heard from everybody, at what point do you think that you're currently stuck? Like, where are you stuck right now? Is it the job application? So I want to make it easy to so you can quickly put your thoughts together and just type it, right? So where are you stuck right now? Is it the interview level? Is it the CV level? Is it the experience level? Where are you stuck right now? So Maomi says that lack of work experience is why she feels she's currently unemployed. Patrick says UK experience. Okay, now let's talk about when we are stuck, right? Where are you stuck? Is it interview level that you're stuck? Oh, I always get interviews, but the problem is getting past that stage. That's where you're stuck. Oh, I never get interviews. My CV never gets past the ATS, or I never get called back. That means you're stuck at the CV level, right? So at what point are you currently stuck? Can you type it in the chat? So just type it in the chat. Oh, this is where I feel like I'm currently stuck. So that there is a reason why I'm asking. Again, because we are addressing the missing step, right? Okay, Patrick says CV level. Beautiful. I'd like to have more people respond to this, right? What point are you stuck right now, right? Because we have a lot of misconceptions as candidates, as job seekers, right? We have a lot of misconceptions. We personally assume things sometimes. Napit Sat says she's currently stuck at portfolio level, and Anifa says CV level. Omaomi says she stopped getting interviews, and also tools usage. Feel that more practical issue. Awesome. Thank you very much. I love the angle that everybody's coming from. Like I said, I would really love this conversation to be aligned with what you're currently struggling with. So it's easy for you to know that this conversation is not just going to be we're talking about the problem. It is about telling you what the solution is and the next steps you can take already. Right. So, okay. Boni. So the reason why I'm calling you Boni, sorry, that's your surname, I believe, is because your first name is a little bit difficult to pronounce. So you said CV level and available job opportunities. Okay. Bolu says lack of experience, portfolio, and CV level, especially for someone pivoting from a different career. And then Abimbola says trying to get the right project and build my portfolio. I love that angle because that's another major problem, honestly. Now the job market specifically does not test intelligence, and I know why I'm saying this, right? Most times we treat interviews and every interaction we have with the gatekeepers, the recruiters now, right? We treat it as an interrogation. Oh, let me come across as perfect. I don't want them to spot this issue. I don't want them to spot that. So you are addressing it as I have to be very intelligent. You are watching videos on how to ace an interview. You're listening to experts say these are top 5 questions a data analyst gets asked. These are top 10 questions the project manager gets asked. These are top this is how to answer this question. So you want to be very intelligent when you're going for an interview, thinking that what they are testing for is that, but what they are really testing for is your readiness, your contribution level. Are you somebody that can contribute already? And where everybody is stuck right now is because you are missing that contributor part. So somebody said something in the chat. Oh, right project. Exactly, that's Abimbola. She said the right project and to build portfolio. That shows your contributor side. That shows your readiness. So lacking that at the moment means that you will not be able to pass this readiness test, right? So you can be, and I tell people, you can be very intelligent, you can be very confident. And of course, one of the things they'll tell you when you're going for an interview is be very confident, sit upright, maintain eye contact. That's not what gets you hired. I promise you, that's not what gets you hired. If you have all this level of intelligence, but you are unable to convince the recruiter that you are ready to be a contributor because you have contributed elsewhere, right? And it's not by saying, oh, I can contribute. No, it's by giving them reference, which is where this portfolio that Abimbola mentioned comes into the picture. Your portfolio shows what you've done before, right? So if you lack that and you lack the stories that makes you believable, that yes, as Abimbola is showing me that portfolio, she's backing it up with stories that makes me believe indeed that she has really contributed, then I am not convinced. But if Abimbola is able to back it up with stories that make me say, oh, yeah, sure, she really has contributed, then I will be able to trust that Abimbola can contribute. I am testing for your readiness and you have passed that. So you can be smart, confident, intelligent. And I'll say, I really like Bolu, honestly. Like the panel, when they are deliberating and trying to go with somebody, yeah, Bolu was super confident, but I feel like she's not ready. Like she can't, they're saying that. But were you confident? Yes. Did they like you? Yes. Right. But were you able to convince them that if they hire you today, you would be able to hit the ground running? And I'll tell you why. They always are skeptical and they are, unsure whether or not to go ahead with you. So when they test your readiness, they are testing not because you learned, but because you built. I will come back and make reference again to Abimbola. She said building my portfolio. So you see exactly what I'm saying. They are testing for what you built. That's the proof that they need, right? So let's talk about where we are stuck right now. And I always say something. You're unable to get a job. It's easy for you to think that, am I not doing things right? But I'm applying to 50 jobs a day. In fact, I've applied to 500 jobs in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks. Honestly, I think I saw somebody mention this, I think 2-3 weeks ago, right? When they were saying they applied to 500 jobs in a very short limited time, that it's easy to even say you don't believe it. How can you say you've applied to that much jobs in a short period and you are still unable to get a job, right? So it's not about laziness, because sometimes you're like, it's not like I'm lazy. I apply to lots of jobs. So you keep applying to prove that you're not lazy, just to prove that you are doing the right things. And there is a saying that, oh, applying to jobs is like a full-time job, and it's not a lie. That saying it's a fact. Applying to jobs is a full-time job. But here's the thing: if you constantly apply to jobs, but you are lacking what would make you go from that stock level again. That's why I said, where are you stuck? Omomi said she's stuck at interviews. You keep applying, you come back to the same spot, you don't get the job, you go back again, you're applying. You're doing it, you're not lazy, you're consistently applying and showing up for interviews and doing everything you can, but you are not moving past that stage. That's because it's looking like you are employed by the job market. Because at this rate, you are, again, that's saying, oh, applying to jobs is like a full-time job, etc. Yes. But you are not leaving that stage. You are stuck. That means the job market has hired you, has employed you. But that's not what it should be. You are meant to be employed by a company. So you are stuck in that hamster wheel, going round and round and round in that wheel, right? So before I proceed, right, can somebody define what they feel like hamster wheel means, right? What's an hamster wheel? You can unmute and just tell me what you feel hamster wheel means, right? What does just one person, I just want to take one person, right? So that we would understand why this is the exact case for job seekers, right? We are stuck in that hamster wheel and we keep going round and round in circles. So if you know what it means, can you unmute and just tell me running an unending race? Thank you very much. Okay, I think I got my answer right. Olu said running an unending race. So this hamster wheel, as you might, be aware, it's actually an exercise device, right, for rodents. So you would always see them being placed in that hamster wheel, and they're just going. The first time I saw it was in a movie, right? And this person just put that rodent and was going in that device, like it was just like an exercise. But in this case, I am using it idiomatically, right? I'm using it in this case idiomatically, and it pretty much means being trapped in a tiring, endless routine of repetitive tasks. So you're applying to jobs, you're back to your CV revamp. Oh, is it something that is wrong? Oh, let me take another course. You're back to taking another tutorial course because maybe you didn't pass that interview because you don't know Tableau. You are back to taking another course because maybe you did not ace that interview because you did not introduce yourself very well. So you're watching tutorial videos on how to answer, tell me about yourself. Oh, you're back to another course. So you are in that tiring and repetitive task with no progress. You are not out of that moving. You're just doing the same thing over and over again, right? That's exactly why it feels like you're stuck doing the same thing within the job market. And again, instead of being employed by a company at this point, the job market is the employer, which should not be the case. You should not be in the job market for longer than 2 months. Honestly, like for longer than 2 months, you should not be in the job market, right? So the hamster wheel, like I said, the major effect in your job search is what makes you stay stuck. And I'd like us to take a look at this, right? This is what it looks like. More efforts, same outcome. You have taken courses. You've updated your CV. You go on to apply to a job. You get rejected. You go back to apply again. What was the feedback? And most times are like, oh, what's the feedback? Let me use that to fix my next application. You're back again to applying, right? Oh, we shouldn't say more applications, sorry, more courses, right? I missed it here. So it's more courses, then more applications, then more silence, and you're back again. So you're going round and round in that tiring, repetitive, task. So this wheel is very exhausting, right? Because you feel it's productive. Oh, okay, yes. So I made a progress this time. Now I know how to answer the question. Tell me about yourself. Oh, now I know Tableau. My last interview, the recruiters needed somebody that could create visualization in Tableau. I couldn't respond. I couldn't answer. Now I know that you're back again. These interviewers this time around have something else they're telling you now. So it's so unproductive. But you feel like, oh, you're busy. You're doing something, right? You're excited. Oh yes, so I was able to apply to 500 jobs today. 500 is an exaggeration, but you know what I mean, right? I was able to apply to 10 jobs today, 20 tomorrow. By the end of this week, maybe 50. It's progress, but is it a productive progress, right? Or are you just going to get the same response over and over again? 500 applications, 10 interview invites, no callback. That's not the way to go, right? So it tricks your brain into thinking that you're doing something and maybe it's not just time yet or something, right? Which is not what's happening. You're just stuck. So what's actually happening in this is that, like I said, you're stuck, but it's not because you're late, right? It's because you are stuck in a system that was a layer that is currently not added. And from what everybody said, some people have identified that missing layer, right? That missing layer. But I would like to break it down before I spell out that layer, because I can just as well just say, oh, this is what you're missing. But there is a lot of things that goes into this missing gap, right? Now, what we think we need is courses, right? Certifications, tutorials, simulated projects. Before I proceed, my colleague just dropped a link in the chat. It's for attendance filling. So I'll share with us a list of UK companies that are recruiting and giving visa sponsorship. And when I say a list, I mean an updated list of companies that are sponsoring in the UK. It has over 133,000 companies. And you can easily take a look at them, pick some companies, check out what they do, and you can apply to those companies. Like I said, this year should be a year where you are able to achieve your goal. And by being on this call today, I would love to share this with you. As I'm sharing what you can do to make it better, I'm also sharing the easy way to just take that step and apply it and get the job, right? This has worked, and you will see the number of interns at Amdari that have landed jobs as we proceed. I'll share this with us. And like I said, this is not a session that talks about the problem and what you can do. No, it tells you the problem, what you can do, and how you can already do it, like fast. And like I said, the easy and fast way, because I'll be sharing this list of 130 plus companies in the UK that are sponsoring, right? So even if you're not able to get the sponsorship part, you can get the job part, right? So how you become that candidate, I will tell you, and then, these are places you can also apply. So back to what I was saying. So please fill the form that my colleague, you see the name Amdari Growth, just dropped in the chat. Just fill the form, and we will be happy to also not just share this slide, but also the recording of this session in case you want to rewatch or share with a friend, colleague, or or have access to my slide also. So back to what I was saying. Now, you have the knowledge that most people have, which is this. Everybody's taking courses. Everybody is going for certification. Somebody in the chat said, oh, I have PMP, but she's still unable to land the job. Tutorials, you go back to taking courses every now and then, right? Simulated projects. Or maybe what I need is some cargo project. Maybe I'll tell you why simulated project does not help you stand out. Now, everything here has only helped you to build theoretical competence. Everything here has only made you what everyone else already is, right? You are in a competitive job market. You are supposed to look for ways to stand out. So this particular stage, the majority of job seekers are stuck in, is that stage that everybody is in. So you are competing with everybody else that has basic knowledge, not the knowledge that recruiters are hiring for. This is basic knowledge. This is foundational, right? So I asked a question a few weeks ago. I said, why do we think we are unemployed? I would save you the stress of answering that question because I've engaged you and you guys have been amazing in typing. So let me just tell you what people said. If you agree with this, you can just type one in the chat. Everybody said that job seekers, they said the job market is saturated. Please, if you agree, can you type one in the chat? I asked job seekers on a call like this in December 2025. I said, why do you think the job market, or rather, why do you think people are unemployed? If you disagree, type 0. If you agree, type 1. Right? And every job seeker on the call, I promise you, said the job market is saturated. If you agree, can you type 1? If you disagree, type 0. So I'm waiting for my response. If you agree that the job market is saturated, type 1. If you disagree, type 0. Okay. Omaremi says she disagrees. Hamad says he disagrees. Sanjay says he disagrees. Okay. I would like to get more. So for people that said they disagree, why do you disagree? Just type it, maybe 1, 2 words or maybe what. Why do you disagree, right? So everybody said, oh, the job market is saturated. Now, guess what? We did another thing. It's beautiful to know that everybody on this call is currently disagreeing with the fact that the job market is saturated. Then there was a report from recruiters, the gatekeepers, right? And recruiters said there is a shortage of skilled workers. That's why people are unemployed. That's why the job market is filled with a lot of people that do not have jobs. The job market is filled with, there is a shortage of skilled workers. Do you agree with this? Okay, maybe this is the question, right? Do you agree that there is a shortage of skilled workers? Type 1 if you agree, type 0 if you disagree. You agree with the gatekeepers, the recruiters. They say that there is a shortage of some. Hamad says jobs are still posted every day, just that the employees lack the right skills and required skills. Perfectly said, well put. That was exactly what I meant when I said shortage of skilled workers, which is just the words of the recruiters. And Ejiro, Rabiu, Amax, Salako, and Akim Bobola says, yes, they agree that there is a shortage of skilled workers in the job market. Now, the bar is very low. I promise you. I saw a post on Twitter last week. This person said, oh, in order for you to get ahead, in order for you to progress professionally, you just need to be willing to do what 99% of the people are not doing. Like, you just need to be willing to um, do more hours, right? Do more learning, devote more time into self-development, self-improvement, etc. And I promise you, 99% of the people are not doing this. So the bar is not even high. So all you need to do is just do a little more and you will be ahead. And that was not a lie. Now, this person was saying it as just a professional, an employed person, just trying to be more, to stay relevant, right? To be sought after in their workplace. And that was just her saying, people are not even trying. So the bar is not high. So just like Hamad said here, that jobs are still posted. That's a fact. These jobs are posted, but they are unfilled. Do you know how many roles were unfilled in the UK alone at the end of 2025? And you might wonder, oh, if it's unfilled, what happened to those roles? It means that the gap was created. How did the recruiters or the managers in those companies, how did they cope with the gap? Contract. They would get contract staff. And I've experienced this firsthand. A company that hired me as far back as 2021 had a role unfilled. It was a web project manager role. They had been looking to fill that role for 7 months. How did I know this? They sent me a direct DM on LinkedIn. And they were like, oh, we're currently looking to hire. I don't know if I have that screenshot in this chat, but if I hope I do, so I'll share with you. So they were like, oh, we're looking to hire a web project manager. They came across my page and they feel like they would like to take the conversation further, right? And all that. And I did my due diligence. Of course, this is a company that I did not see myself. They stumbled on my page and they sent me a message. So I had to like, oh, who are they? What do they do? And I saw on their Instagram that this flyer had been posted since September or earlier rather. Because they reached out to me in January, yes. So they reached out to me in January and I kept seeing every month the post was going on. And I was like, who was now doing the job? I got the job, resumed 2 weeks after they sent me a DM on LinkedIn. I don't know them, right? They sent me the DM on LinkedIn. I resumed 2 weeks later, first week of February, and I was the contract web project manager handed over to me. So I was like, oh, so this is how it works. You don't find the person you need. You work with a contract person, and until you find the candidate, they are willing to stay. They are not willing to take the chance. And you'll see why they're not willing to take the chance. So the bar is not really low. It's not really high, rather, it's very low. But many people are willing to take that step. And I hope that everybody on this call today will be willing to take that leap of faith, right? That will help you stay ahead. Because again, the job market is not saturated. We just feel it's saturated because it's filled with people with foundational knowledge. But this is not what recruiters are hiring for. Recruiters are hiring for judgment, context, trade-offs, mistakes, right? Communication under pressure, business context, how you've contributed in the past. And if you're unable to communicate any of this during your interview, they will find it very hard to trust that you can do the job. So this is what they hire for. And you can only have this when you have worked in an actual environment. And we feel like, oh, I need a portfolio, and what I need to have on my portfolio is project, simulated project. Why simulated project does not help much is because you don't have an actual team you're working with. You're just on one platform and they say this is a data set. This is a imagine this team. You have to work with this. So you imagine your team to life. With Amgari internship, you don't imagine anybody to life. You have an actual team you work with throughout your 4-month internship, right? And you have an actual team leader you report to. A perfect instance is you jump into the Amgari internship. You have a project for some of our business partners. that you work with, right? On this project, you are assigned um you are assigned a project over a project briefing. Oh, this is the company you are working with. This is their business problem. This is how you come in. This is etc. This is what you have to do, and all of that. Let me show you an example of one of our business partners or two. Alright. So you are assigned this project. So this is one example, and it's a platform that helps with buy now, pay later, etc. So that's what they do, and this is pretty much a brief about them. So these are some of the businesses that we partnered. This type of business can have a problem with checkout, for example. They can have a problem with sales, right? Or how users, or the security of their platform. So there are different ways that as an intern in the program, you can contribute to helping some of these businesses stand out. So let me show us another one, right? So these are the different ways that our interns currently work with our business partners. This is another one, right? So I think the page is still moving. Yeah, it's still moving. But yeah, so this is another one. I'll still show us as we proceed, by the way, while it's still loading. So these are the different businesses that our interns get to work with. So I don't know if you joined at the time when my colleague was playing the testimonial of one of our interns that landed a job very early in the program, right? And that's how you see people landing jobs 2 months in, 3 months into starting the program. In fact, this year alone, we have people that landed jobs, and I'll show you their shared story. So what you do is with Amdari internship, not this, and not projects that are just you imagining this, imagining that. You would work with an actual team, and you will have an actual team lead, right? You'd report situations and all of that. So when you go for an interview, you are believable. Let me give you an instance. You're a project manager doing your internship at Amdari. You go for an interview and you are asked a question, right, on a particular project you worked on, right? And they ask you, okay, tell me a project you've worked on in the past that really, really that you are proud of. let me use it that way. So I'm sure you worked on a project. Tell me a project you've worked on that you're really proud of. And let's say Olunike joins Amdari internship as a project manager, for example, right? I know she told us what she's hoping to get a job as, but I can't remember now. But let me say she wants to get a project manager role this year. She joins Amdari internship. She goes for an interview, and the recruiters or the panel, they ask Olunike, tell me a project that you worked on that you are really proud of. And Olunike remembers a project. One thing we tell our interns, don't make it sound like, oh, okay, a project I worked on, especially when it's not even a project manager case now, like data scientist or data analyst. You're asked about a data that you analyzed and how you communicated the insights to stakeholder, and you're mentioning it as, oh, so there was this project I worked on. Don't make it sound like a project, like it's simulated, like it's gotten on cargo. Say, okay, so the company I currently work with, or one of the businesses I consulted for, because Amdari internship is like you consulting for some businesses. I just showed us one, right? 35, which you consult for. And this is another one. Now it's done with it, right? This is another one. It's a boutique living platform, right? And these are like the businesses these are people they care for and more. So they have business challenges that you can work on. Now, this type of business now, they can have a problem. So you can say, oh, there was this particular business I consulted for. You can either say it like that, or you make it sound like a company you currently work with. But don't make it sound like, oh, a project, like it's something like a passion project you worked on, right? The way you come across as a perceived expert would make you stand out. So you need to know how to sell yourself very well. So these are things that we do during mentorship for our interns. Know how to communicate and interpret your internship experience in an interview, so you are not cutting yourself short. So Olunike now goes for the interview and she says, okay, so one of the businesses I worked with, or the current company I work with, we had a particular project. Or no, let me rephrase that. So the business I currently work for, or the business I currently consult for, is a startup, right? And they have a major issue with sales and conversion because it's a startup. We had just launched our MVP. We have just launched our MVP 3 months at that time, and we're struggling with getting sign-ups and early adopters. And the whole essence of launching that MVP was to test the market, validate the idea, see early adopters, gather feedback, and know areas to improve on, features to shift. Please listen to how I am saying everything. So features to shift so we can keep improving and making the platform better. And the whole goal was to make sure that these features we're shipping is helping us make the platform better, smarter, and solve the actual problems that we are set to solve, right? So, but we struggled with getting sign-off. So during one of our meetings at that point, one of my teammates, who was a business analyst, she suggested that we have like a campaign or something, right, that could help us get people aware of what the platform was about. You see how I am not rushing my words, so that I am not using filler words, so I am not stuttering, so I am not sounding like I crammed something somewhere, because I promise you everything I'm saying right now is from personal experience, right? But I need to remember everything step by step and speak and say my words in a way that I'm not sounding unsure, like I don't know what I'm saying, and I'm using the right terms. So you know that I know what I'm saying and I understand business needs. So you see what I said about early adopters, MVP. We shipped basic features so we could gather feedback that will help us improve the platform, right? All of those little things. It's showing that you understand business needs and you know what you're saying. This is the knowledge that recruiters hire for. That's context. This that I'm narrating right now is context. So let's proceed, and I'll tell you how all of this tie into what I'm saying. So, my teammate, who was a business analyst, suggested that we have a campaign or something that we can do to just get people to sign up, etc. So when she mentioned that, I came up with an idea on that call. Let them know when you came up with the idea, so they will know that you are an on-the-spot thinker, right? So they know that you are that smart. So I came up with an idea on that call that, okay, what if we have an event that is going to help our users see it as a freebie, like it's going to be a freebie event, something we know that our users need. We put it out as a freebie, people sign up, we run the campaign or something, and we create a landing page, of course, because how do we gather their data? But instead of us just making it a form, let's create an actual landing page where we talk more about this event, right? What they should expect, etc. So I shared this and the team agreed to it. They liked it, right? And immediately I said, okay, I'll need the content writer or the copywriter to come up with the landing page content. Now, maybe in your team, you guys don't have a content writer. Trust me, it happens. So you're like, so I told the social manager or I told the growth manager to create the landing page content. I gave it to the UI UX designer. He used it to create the landing page. But before I sent it to him, I got the PRD from the business analyst, right? Sent it to the product designer. He designed the landing page. I know we have a web designer on the call today. That's why I said it's amazing because it's sort of what this internship covers. So I gave it to the web designer. Look at the way, I mentioned that business analysts, we have them in this internship. Project manager, they're part of this. And I said, you don't work alone. You don't imagine your team into the picture. That's because you would work with teams. And on some projects, you work with cross-functional teams. So back to my narrative. So I gave the content and the BRD. We call it PRD, product management, for business analysts call it BRD. I gave the BRD to the product designer. He designed the landing page. He started with a low fidelity mockup and then he did his high fidelity and he prototyped. We sent it to the developer. The prototype was to make it easy for the developer to know which areas have to be animated, what has to look like what, etc. He designed it. It was done with the design. The developers implemented. We tested and all of that. But something I am leaving out, right, is the stakeholders gave us 2 weeks to be done because there was a marketing campaign that needed to go out at that time. But I told them that it's not possible for us to achieve this in 2 weeks. You can see where judgments and trade-offs is coming into the picture, right? So I told the stakeholders that, and then communication under pressure. This is where it's coming in. I told the stakeholders that it's not going to be achievable in 2 weeks because before we get the content person might take 1 day. Before the designer does his design, maybe 5 days or 4 days, right? then developer might need like a week to develop. Trust me, it's faster. But I'm just for the purpose of this conversation. This can be done in a week. This that I'm narrating, it can be done in a week. But I'm just saying it for the purpose of this conversation. So I told them that, oh, we need, so that 2 weeks is for build. We need an extra week to do quality assurance testing because there might be bugs. We want the platform to be reliable. We don't want people to start signing up and something is breaking. Something is not, oh, they can't submit a form, they can't proceed, they can't do this. We don't want to have surprises. In order to avoid that, we needed to be done. So the trade-off is for us not to have mistakes, right? So you can see the trade-off in this case. For this not to happen, for us not to have issues when people start signing up and then the purpose of doing this is defeated, we need an extra week. So please, stakeholders, give us our 3 weeks. We know you need 2 weeks, right? But we can do this in weeks. But then I went to my team, so Olunike says, I go to my team and I tell them that we have 2 weeks to deliver this. But Olunike already told them that they can achieve it in 3 weeks. She is managing expectation because I promise you surprises happen. It happens. So she is being smart. So she tells her team, the developer, the designer, we have 2 weeks to deliver this. So they have to work with that limited time. Guess what? Her team is able to be done in 2 weeks. Olunike had told the recruiter, or rather the stakeholders, that will be done in 3 weeks, but now they are done in 2 weeks. She goes back to them. Do you know how they will see her? Amazing. They're excited. Oh, wow, that was fast. That was their initial expectation. But then because she told them it's not possible because of this or that, now she's able to get that done. That was smart. There's no way Olunike will go into an interview and narrate this that I just narrated, and you will not trust that she can contribute, that you not trust that she's ready to hit the ground running. If you agree that you hire Olunike to join your team ASAP, give me a thumbs up. You agree that yes, you trust, like you believe her, like thank your mommy. You believe everything she has said. So now, thank you, Hamad. This is the knowledge that recruiters are hiring for. This that I just narrated. So if you go for an interview and you cannot connect that you understand business needs, because why is the business existing? And no matter how technical your skill is, they want to know how you understand and tie business needs to your actual day-to-day tasks. Because your business, your day-to-day tasks is tied to that business outcome at the end of the day. So how do you communicate that you know how to tie it, right? When you are able to communicate that, you are doing more than what every other person is doing. Every other job seeker is not really tying in like that. They don't understand business needs. That's one major gap, right? So when you go in for an interview and you say you're passionate, it's not convincing. It's just telling me that you don't have a way to tell me that you are passionate without telling me that you are passionate. The way I narrated how Olunike will go into an interview and say that, so I worked with this team, I did this. She different instances, she has told me that she's smart without saying I am a smart person. She has told me that she's passionate about her work and very intentional without saying, oh, I'm passionate and intentional. She has told me that she is an on-the-spot thinker without telling me, because look at where she said, oh, so I came up with this idea. She told me that she takes initiative without saying that I take initiative. I trust her. I will be able to say, yes, this person is able to contribute without needing supervision, right? But if all of the things you're telling me is pointing at, oh, I have just taken a course, I would not trust that you would be able to navigate this space. What do I mean? It's just like when you go in and you learn how to drive, right? You just learn the foundational part, right? You're not, the actual driving is learned when you are now on your own and you meet, a lot of crazy drivers on the road. You have to navigate the difficulties. You have to think immediately sometimes because there is somebody driving roughly and you have to be very, very smart with maybe how you think and just quickly avoid one collision or not. You have to think, and that's not learned when you're learning how to drive because you're learning on a lonely road, right? That's exactly what happens with learning and taking a course. Everything is safe. You are not interacting. The actual project, they don't go as planned. But when you're taking a project management course, everything is smooth. It's a smooth ride, right? But the real world, trust me, you don't know the kind of team lead you have. How do you come in? How do you navigate that type of, toughness? These are things they want to see. That's exactly what happens with the driving analogy that I just gave now, right? If you're learning on a lonely road, the driver is everything is smooth. It's not, oh, almost this, almost that. But with an actual real life driving, when you're now on your own on the road, how nobody's sitting by your side now, right? So for Amdari internship, you have somebody sitting by your side when you are on that actual road, so that you don't make those expensive mistakes while you are getting the actual thing done. So this internship gives you that proper exposure. So why do recruiters say that, sorry, we cannot proceed? Yes, we liked you, you were amazing during the interview, but we found somebody better, right? Or they don't even say we found somebody better. They just say, sorry, we cannot proceed at this point, but we kept your details for future opportunities. Why do they say that? Why would they give you so many accolades, applaud? In fact, sometimes in an interview, you are told that you are amazing. You can see it clearly on their faces, but nobody's pulling you back. They boast you after the interview. It's because if this hiring fails, they will have to absorb the disruption. The workload will have to spread across the team. And time to productivity, if they take the chance, means that you will not be able to deliver, and that will be wasted money, right? And no income made. And I'll give you an instance. There was a time, of course, Amdari is preaching, give people the opportunity to work because that's how they build experience. But we know that it doesn't work that way. That's why we started Amdari. No. We once interviewed somebody, right? Just a bit. We once interviewed somebody, and this person with the interview, we could tell that she had an experience. But she had the zeal, the passion, the energy. Oh, I am a fast learner, I am this. We know it never really works out as planned, but we're willing to just give her a chance, right? Let's hope that somebody like this would kind of prove the theory wrong, right? And prove the data. Data don't lie, but let's just see if this would be one of the, maybe the 1%, right, that stands out. We got her in, hired somebody to train her on the job. We paid the person training her. She had 4 months to learn. Do you know what that means? She would not be able to bring any value yet because we know that she has not gained the experience. But we just want to try it out to see if it would work. We hired an external person, not to work with her, but to train her and guide her as she's doing the work. There was no results after 4 months of training. 2 months later, after the training, okay, maybe nothing happened. We had to let this person go. What happened during the period when this person was having that 4 months training, and 2 months later, when the person was supposed to be delivering? What happened was their workload was absorbed by the team. Other people had to be doing their job because they could not do it yet, right? 2 months later, it was still the same thing. Time to productivity was wasted because she never get to that point. She never got to that point, rather. Hiring was disrupted. We had to go hire again and again. We had to start the hiring process, rather, right? And money was wasted because she was paid salary. Money was wasted again because the person training was paid salary, right? Was paid to train her. And the money was not made because she could not get the job done. Do you think that's a wise business decision? I'm very taking the chance. If you think it's not a wise business decision, give me a thumbs up. You think it's not wise for any business to do that? Give me a thumbs up. Thank you, Omaremi. Thank you, Anna. Amazing. So do you see why they are not? So it's not that they have anything against you. Hiring is exhausting. I don't like it myself. But every week at Amdari, I'm hiring somebody. I'm on the call with HR team, speaking to a possible candidate for Amdari. And you're on that call every week, not because you have that much role to fill. No, that's not the case. It's because maybe the role you've been trying to fill a month ago is still unfilled. I promise you. A role not a role, multiple roles you've been trying to fill 3 months ago is still unfilled, right? So you are still on the call trying to, and are people applying? Yes. You speak to some people, yes, but it's still the same thing. And it's not even fancy, it's not even a beautiful experience. We have to keep doing it. So do you think if I speak to you right now and you're the right candidate, I would have anything and say no? It's not possible. But we want, and we can't experience what we experienced with the other person. We're not willing to train. It's not even on the table. So you either look like the candidate who can contribute, you either have the knowledge that we need, or we will just say, thank you for your time, next, right? So the missing layer that would make you not convincing and not have the kind of story that I narrated that, oh, Onike can have, is the experience layer. That layer gives you the story to tell, the experience to share, which makes you convincing. And this was why I said that's exactly what you get with Amdari. So most times we think that, oh, that experience means 2 years, 3 years, and full-time role. No, it just means having the knowledge, because that experience shows that somebody has trusted you. So you are not high risk. Because guess what? The person we hired that nobody has had trusted before, she was high risk. We wasted money. It was not a wise business decision. It would also tell me that you've survived real constraint. Only first story now, or she spoke to stakeholders, she managed the timing, she did this. She has survived real situation, and she understands how to function inside a system because she has done that. She told me how the BA came up with the idea of campaign, how she fleshed it out and planned the execution. You see, that's a project manager right there. I am sure I didn't even mention their sprints, their scrum meets, or rather their stand-up meetings, right? The agile approach, they probably took, oh, once this page is ready, we just implement, launch it, another feature is added, we push it to live, another, other instances like that. It is telling me that she understands how to work in a system. She knows how to work with a product designer, developer, marketing also, because guess what? Maybe they analyzed data that was collected after, and oh my God, I left something out. So now she said that also they launched the campaign, and amazingly, 4 weeks after launching the campaign, we got 5,000 signups. And these 5,000 signups added 30% to our revenue a month later. That's what every business owner wants to hear. So that idea, execution, and everything led to the company finally getting 5,000 signups, and 30% of that number ended up paying. That's great. So, our numbers went from just 400 initial users on the website to 2,005, right? Or 3,005. Within just that 1 month, sorry. I just realized that my camera didn't do it. Okay. So we went from just that 1 month of saying, or rather 4 months of saying, oh, we only have 500 signups or 400, to having 3,005 in just 1 month of executing this plan. And guess what? Maybe about 400, 800 of them became paying customers. That's exactly what recruiters hire for. So not just the Olunike say that, oh, my intern, or rather, not just the Olunike say that I am a project manager that has worked and managed a team. But she is saying that my impact, my idea contributed to the company making that much money, right? Anybody would hire you because that's exactly what recruiters hire for. Now, 2 Amdari interns this January alone have been able to land jobs because they have stories like this to share. This is Erica, for example, who sends a message to our team lead, Oluchi. I mentioned earlier, this internship has you working with teams, not alone and not in isolation. So she sends a message to our team lead, Oluchi, and she says, hi, Oluchi, this is Erica. I hope you're doing great. So I got the job, but I need a reference contact from Amdari. They need to do a background check. And the team lead, of course, is like excited. Oh my God, I'm all of that. So Erica landed a business analyst role in the UK just 3 months after starting her internship at Amdari, right? And the internship is just 4 months, just 4 months now. And yes, we give you reference to back up your claim of experience. So some of our interns land the job before they request the reference. For some of them, they need the reference before they are given the job. But however the reference request comes, we provide it, right? So this is another one who this came from another BA intern. She says that my intern got a job. He was so happy because the project we worked on is exactly the job title. And I was like, so she shared this with me. So this was me responding. So this was shared by one of our teammates. So I said, please ask him which company and the role. And this is the role. It's HCM selection. Because she shared the offer letter. So I had to like check because she already shared it. So I had not opened the PDF to see the company name and his role. So it says HCM selection and implementation lead. That was his job title. He started his internship in September 2025. January, in fact, it was the first week of resumption for us in the company that my colleague, that's Queen, sent me this message and she said, my intern landed the job. So he landed a job on that HCM selection and implementation lead at just 4 months of his program. So these are the different ways the program is helping. This is another person, right? Toyin, who got a project management, or rather, okay, what was the role she got? Maybe I'll play a video for us. So she also landed the job very, very early in the program. These are ways that our interns are landing in the UK, right? I'll play Toyin's video. But something very special about Toyin's story that I want to share is the fact that she said the reference letter at Amdari contributed to her landing the job. That's what I always love sharing about Toyin's story, which I'll get to shortly, right? So why most people stay unemployed at the end of the day is not because they are lazy. It's because they wait to be chosen, right? Instead of building proof. And that's why I said I really love what Abimola typed earlier, right? Regarding building proof in the job market. Recruiters want you to have proof of work done. Not, oh, I am passionate about this, I am passionate about that. Everybody is passionate. But what sets you apart, right? What makes you stand out? That is exactly what these people hire for. So if you don't have anything that is making you stand out or look like you're that right candidate, it will be very difficult for them to trust you and say that they are giving you the job or they are trusting you in the job. And the minute they cannot trust you, it becomes very difficult, right? So please gain the trust before you ask for the job, right? So they also confuse learning with employability. I already shared this. Most times we just feel like, okay, no, it doesn't for Lakemi. It doesn't cover software engineering. It covers DevOps, right? It covers app and cloud security. It covers product design, right? And every other thing, business analysis, the data field, and the likes, right? So a lot of times we also confuse learning, and I'm glad that I already broke that down, and we understand that it is just more than that. It is way more than that. Another thing that I would love to talk about in terms of what we do wrong is how hard we apply. Like I said, you're not lazy, right? But because the more you apply, the more you're still saying that the job market has employed you. You're not supposed to be in the job market for 2 months applying every now and then, or 2 months later, 3 months later, you're still in the job market. You're supposed to be that candidate that has moved from being a job seeker to somebody that has landed the role already. So it's very important to say that you are able to go from being that job seeker to landing the job, right? So also a major thing is we avoid the low ego entry point. Now, internship is one, and I'll break it down as we proceed. Most times are like, internship, I mean, I have experience, 10 years experience working in this field, 10 years experience working in that field. If I start internship now, I don't know, maybe let me just apply to jobs. No, don't apply to jobs, right? Because the system will not bend to your level of readiness. If the only thing you have is knowledge, it will not bend. You need experience and exposure, knowledge of working in systems and understanding business needs and being able to tie it to what you do as a technical person, right? So you don't break out of this wheel, that's the hamster wheel, by just waiting for permission. Please don't be at the mercy of, oh, my CV is the problem, I'm stuck don't be stuck, right? Break out of it by changing the sequence of your application and qualification, right? So our assumption is, I have taken the course, I'm skipping the course part now. I have taken the course, let me go straight to applying the job. Then when I get the job, I'll gain the experience. And when I gain the experience, you will see that yes, indeed, I am to be trusted. I am passionate, like I told you, right? And all of that. It doesn't happen. Remember what I told you when we hired that person? We gave her the job before the experience. So we gave her the job and we helped her gain the experience by not just giving her somebody to train her, but also exposing her to instances. But was she able to gain our trust at the end of the day? No, because she could not deliver. So the right way to do this is you've taken the course. The missing layer is you gain the experience, then I will be able to trust you, because when you gain the experience and you give me the narration like Olunike, then I am like, yeah, cool, like I would like to work with this person. Now I trust you. Then I am easily able to give you the job because it's easy to trust you. So how do you escape this hamster wheel? Is you go from saying, how do I get a job? Stop saying, how do I get a job? To saying, how do I become low risk to hire? Please stop saying, oh my God, what else do I need to do? How else do I need to approach this? Stop saying that, right? Because it's a psychological thing at the end of the day. The minute you're able to say, how do I become low risk? I promise you, your approach, how you respond to interview questions, and how you build yourself changes. Because when you say, how do I apply to jobs? You are putting effort in the wrong thing. Your CV, your LinkedIn, your interview, watching videos on how to introduce yourself. No. How do you become low risk? Means you now start working on yourself, becoming a professional in practice, how you can become major impact to any company that trusts you. That's where the difference is. So the questions that you ask would, wire how you approach this. So the minute you ask, how do I become low risk? You immediately add work experience to it. Practical stories like I shared, stakeholder language like I shared, evidence of execution like I shared. You can only have that the minute you start asking this, because you would realize that this is what you need to become this. But how do I get a job? Would mean CV, LinkedIn, etc. That's not what you need. This is what you need. This is how you need to think, so you can start doing this to help yourself, right? So the right hiring order would now be to learn, practice, gain the experience while practicing, apply to jobs, and easily gain the trust of recruiters, and you are hireable. For a lot of people, like I said, the bar is very low. A lot of people stop at learning. These are the people built in the job market. That's why people say it's saturated. Because yes, some people took courses and it's like 100 of them during that training. Sure, all of us are in the job market. But how many people took it a step further and did this? Not a lot. I promise you, after this call today, maybe just 5 people would even take action. That's because we don't take the action that we're supposed to take. And it's very important to take that necessary action, because sincerely, taking that action means going from that learning level to becoming experienced and easy to get the job. So if you really, really want to achieve that goal that you all typed in the chat, you will do everything you need, and it's so easy. It's so easy. It's just it's 4 months. I did my internship before I could. This thing, we all did it. And like I said, this direct platform was built from a place of personal experience. We built it because I also had to do internship. If Femena had to do the same thing, Adeza had to. Moving to the UK, if had to even do menial jobs, right? And all of that. So you need to do the internship because it makes it easy for you to have what you need that helps you get the job, right? So because most people stop here, and like I said, it would really be great to see that at the end of a conversation like this, at least more than half of the people on this call take the needed action to move from what most people do to becoming this person that bridges that gap by getting experience, right? Because hiring starts here. It starts here at trust. So if you don't have experience through practice, you won't be able to get to where hiring starts from. Hiring does not start where you at learn, oh, I'm taking the course. No, you don't get hired there. You get hired when you do this. And everybody on this call is currently here. Everybody on this call is here. And I want everybody on this call to go here. And this is what Amdari helps you do. So I would love for you to take that action to go from here, right, to here. So it's easy for you to get this. You get to this point where hiring starts from, and you're easy to hire. The jobs are out there. If you check 3.co.uk today, you'll see that the number of people, right, the number of project management jobs might be over 600 that has been posted today. And I'll show you, right? I'll show you what I mean. So a lot of postings happen out there, but do we have the needed knowledge? No, right? So while the page is loading, let's proceed and we'll come back to that. So let's look at how many project management jobs. Sorry. Let's look at how many project management. So let's search. I'll look for data analytics also, just those two for So you can see different job titles: PMO manager, performance leader, project management apprentice, SAP PMO. You know, the job titles can be different. And I love the fact that job boards are becoming smart, right? So as long as you type the job title, right, even if it's the general umbrella, the job board is now giving you other job titles that companies choose to give it, like technology PMO analyst. Typically, these job boards will not show that, right? They'll just show you project manager, right? But job boards are becoming very smart. So just a minute, please. Okay, this posted. Why am I flying? So let's take a look at today. They posted 39 jobs, right? In the last 3 days, they have posted 1,800 jobs in the last 3 days. And in the last week, it's 3,000 plus project management jobs. Let's look at data analytics. So if in just 1 day, if in just 3 days rather, we have over 1,000 jobs, and we have a lot of project managers on my call today that do not have a job yet. What exactly is the problem? It's because people are not taking that step, right? Look at data analytics. Today, 7 jobs. It's very strange that it's low. It's rarely this low, right? So maybe they've not updated for today yet, so it's still compiling or something. But it's typically a lot. And just come check tomorrow also. You can just take it upon yourself to come check a couple of days from now, and you will see what I mean. It's typically way more than this, right? But in the last 3 days, 300 plus, then 600 plus in the last week, and 1,000 plus in the last 2 weeks, right? And trust me, most of these roles are still on fake. That's a guarantee I can give you. So if these jobs are available this month, why are we having people on this call that are still trying to get a job, right? It's very important for us to be that person. So please bear in mind that job follows experience, not the other way back. You don't get experience after you get the job. You get the experience, you get the job rather, when you can show proof. And this is another person that got a job. His name is Jerry. Jerry got a data analyst role, right? And he got the role just 2 months into his internship. He shares the good news with his team, the same way every other person has been showing us earlier, has been getting the job. Says, "Hi, Emeka. Just wanted to officially let you know that I've landed a data analyst role within the civil service, and it's a level promotion too. I was asked to prepare a presentation on any data analytics project. I edited and submitted our first project, saved me a lot of time and gave me confidence. Also spoke about SQL projects when they asked about data acquisition. Thank you so much for your mentorship, Emeka. Take your flowers up there." So you see what I'm saying, right? And we also have Pedro, who got a job last December 2025, just a month ago. He got a visa sponsorship role. And he shared the good news with his team lead also. "Hello, Victoria. Hope your day went well. I received an offer today. Thanks for all your support and encouragement." And Victoria was excited for him. And she says, "Hope the pay is great and you will give you the offer." He says, "Yes, 36% more comes with visa sponsorship too." And here he says, "Thanks. I am just so grateful to God, the internship program opportunity with Amdari, your support. Since my friends are signing up for the next cohort, it really is a great experience." So this is what we're saying. He would not recommend this to his friends if he's not getting this type of benefits, right? This also worked for me also, gaining experience and shooting my shot to the DM of a recruiter. This was the message I sent. And I promise you, I got the job. I shoot my shot 4 months into my own internship. I was so confident. My internship gave me all of the receipts and proof I needed, and I uploaded them before I sent the DM to this recruiter, right? So that I could look like a practicing professional, a perceived expert. And he responded because I was like, what are the odds that this person will respond to me, right? Yes, I'll take questions shortly. New era, right? So that's exactly how this program helps you stand out to get the job. Now, when the system says that you need to gain experience, it's not saying full-time job. It's not saying permanent role. It's not saying 2 years experience. It is saying structured work, supervision, teamwork, accountability, and feedback. All of these that you get through the internship program at Sandari. Because like I said, it's not you working in isolation, right? It's not you working alone. It's not you having to imagine this, imagine that. You have an actual team lead. You have teammates throughout your 4 months of internship. These are the people that you work with. Now, the trust curve you must pass in any interview, right, is like one. Have you done the task before? If the answer is no, you have failed the first test, right? And this is not an obvious question. These are just subtle in every question you are asked in an interview. Have you solved problems before? If the answer is no, it is going to be very hard for you to get a yes. Have you worked in a structured team before? If the answer is no, it is going to be very hard for you to get a yes. Were you trusted with important work? If the answer is no, that's another fail, right? So you need to answer yes to all these questions. Did your work make impact? Yes. Look at the Onini story I gave us earlier. Has she done the task before? Yes, right? The whole project management scenario. Has she solved the problem? Sure. With the landing page that she suggested and they used in gathering people's data and providing information about the event. Has she worked in a structured team? Yes. She mentioned the BA, the product design, the copywriter, the developer. Yes, she has worked in a structured team. Her story, just one story, gave all of this. Where she trusted with important work? Yes. Because she took the initiative. It was her idea to do the landing page. Of course, if it's your idea, please execute it. And she showed us that she executed. Did her work make impact? Yes, it did. They got 5,000 sign-ups, right? And 30% converted. Not only did it make impact, they made money. So she answers yes to all this. So if your interview response does not say yes to any, it's not going to be a successful interview. But if it answers yes to all, right, your goal is all, then the interview is a yes to all. So I would want you to have this slide so you can refer back to this every time you're trying to apply for a job and go for an interview. You are asking yourself, yes, from this internship at Andari that I have done, right, do I have all the yeses? Because trust me right now, I know you don't have all the yeses to this, right? But how do you get the yeses? It's with the internship. Now, when you get the yeses and you are able to structure your story, it's easy. You get the job. Because from the first conversation, they want you to get the job. They don't want to speak to the entire talent pool before they find the candidate. They want to speak to the first person and they find the right candidate, right? So you want to be the person. So what is the real cost of staying in that hamster wheel where you are right now? Which is, oh, I am stuck with interview. I'm stuck with CV. Self-doubt disguised in upskilling. You continue taking a course. Oh, let me watch another video. It is self-doubt that will be disguised in maybe you need this, maybe you need that. Go and update your CV. You are doubting that they are good enough. You are putting effort in the wrong thing. Impact yourself first. Be a professional in practice. Go for an interview and be a perceived expert, right? Because the longer you run without this progress, the more you blame yourself, thinking that, oh, maybe it's the tableau that I don't know yet. Recruiters don't need somebody that knows everything. Just understand business needs, have experience, fight together. They know that everybody is a work in progress. They know that everybody is still learning, and some new projects you work on will even let you know this or know that. But do you have the knowledge that we even need right now? No or yes, right? So it's very important. And one thing I tell people is every field, every technical skill has half-life. And this half-life I'm referring to is the time it takes for half of your skill to be obsolete, not all your skill. Don't get me wrong. So as a data analyst today, right, trust me, there is always going to be that half-life. So Amoni, are you saying that data analytics is going to be relevant in so years? Like, no. Okay, what's the half-life? How many years is that? It's 2.5 years or 5 years, or rather 2.5 years to 5 years. What is this half-life? The time taken for half of your skill to be obsolete or irrelevant. Half of your skill, what do you mean? You said it's not the entire data analytics skill that I have. Yes, not the entire, but half of it. Because the tools you're using, they are being updated. The field itself, it's advancing because of this technology evolvement. Look at AI, look at the way businesses are also innovating. Everything is speeding up. Are you catching up or are you stuck with what you know 2 years ago? So as a data analyst, you need to keep evolving. As a project manager, you need to keep, as any field in tech, you need to constantly keep evolving. So that's why I wonder when people say to, I've gotten the job, I don't need to push, I've gotten this. So please trust me that this internship is the right step in the right direction for you right now. And even this tech skill that you're about to take, you still need to keep updating your knowledge base, right? Listen to videos, watch videos, check the latest addition to a tool, check the latest update to this and that. It's always the technical skills that get obsolete, not the soft skill. Soft skill takes 10 years or more, like problem solving, taking initiative, being a team player. Those ones, they don't go obsolete. It's something that every employer, and I love the fact that I think it was Hamad that mentioned it, that his soft skill is something he feels is stopping him from getting a job. And guess what the soft skills are? Where they are gotten from. You work with actual people. Because how do you take initiative? Like Olunike in that instance, when you did not really work with anybody, you can't be working in isolation and say communication skill, you have it. No, you can't work on just a random project where you did not interact with people and say problem solving, you have it. What problem did you solve for a business, right? Soft skill is not developed through training or isolated course tutorials, And does soft skill help you get a job? Yes. So the person that wrote soft skill is 1,001% right. So as you're talking about the technical blockers you have, I promise you the soft skills, you need it. And it's also another thing that keeps you ahead. That's ways I used in getting my own job, right? I would always look for a way. You see the way I showed when I was giving that Omnicare instant, and I slotted that, oh, she's a problem solver. She came up with the idea on the spot, and I said, make sure they know that it's on. They want problem solvers. If you sound like an elite applicant, they want you, you are desirable. Everybody wants that A player, right? And please make it even nicer. Let them know that maybe you won staff of the month or you got one award. I would always say that because in my case, I worked in a particular company for 1 year, 3 months. I was staff of the month 8 times. That's 8 different months. And please bear in mind that the other times that I was not staff of the month, it was other team members shuffling it. So I was like the highest in terms of, I would always mention this. They would be like, okay, they would want to hire you. I promise you, you are desirable the minute you make them see you as that person. So be that guy, soft skill, and just low key pitching your own self like that. So internship helps you, but people often see it as, I don't want to put it on my CV. I don't want it to be on my LinkedIn. Nobody said you should put it on. In fact, Dari does not say intern on your CV because yes, we revamp your CV and we optimize your LinkedIn, right? So I will attend to your question shortly, Hamad. So we revamp your CV and we optimize your LinkedIn, and we don't put intern on your CV or LinkedIn. We put consultant because look at the businesses I just showed you, right? You consult for different businesses and their problems. So we put consultants. So when we say talk about this thing on LinkedIn, share your experience. We're not saying say, oh, when I worked on this project during my internship. No, just say when I consulted for this business or when I solved the problem for this business, etc. Or in my current role with Amdari, because Amdari gives you reference. You see the person that got a job and requested. That means you told them you're working with Amdari, which is the expected approach. So if you told them you work with Amdari, why then are you not making it sound like an actual work, because you're here to do an actual work, right? So, when I consulted for this, when I consulted, say it like that and you will get the job. So you don't need to say, oh, internship. Yes, it's a low ego entry, but it's ways you build credibility, right? It's ways you stand out. That's the perfect way to go about it. So don't shy away from an internship program because you feel like, oh, it's low ego entry and all. Let me play Anita's video for just 2 minutes, right, on how she landed a business analyst role, senior business analyst role in 2 months of joining Amdari. If there is no audio, please let me know and I'll fix it quickly because Google Meet can be funny sometimes. But let's listen to Anita's words, exactly how the internship helped her land a job 2 months into the program.
So, I mean, you got a job offer just a few months, I think about 2 months into the program. So, how does that feel? You got a business analyst role. So, how does that feel?
Yeah, feels feels exciting. Yeah, feels exciting.
Yeah. Amazing. That's actually great to know. So, what specific skills or experience from this Amdari program would you really say gave you that confidence to ace your interview?
So I would say being in the shoes of a consultant actually helped because you're solving business cases, you're preparing the documentation. So having deeper experiences or having firsthand deeper experiences into creating all the business requirement documentations, using all of those tools, going deeper into business analysis itself was a good one for me. So it just helped prepare me for whatever interview was coming.
Awesome. So what would you say the reaction of the recruiters was like during the interview process? You ended up landing in senior business analyst role, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was the reaction like when they saw the quality of the project, or even from you talking about the projects you worked on? What was their reaction like
Yeah. So
as a result of
I,
what you built, the experience you gained, and what you could do?
I could only see a reaction of, okay, this is the girl we are looking for. This is the person we want to work with, right? And that was because having had experience working with those processes as a consultant in Amdari, I was able to defend those projects, talk about the project in depth. I was able to talk about the tools used in the project, cost of the project, benefits, which is everything you would learn and do as a consultant in Amdari. So the only reaction I got was, this is our girl, this is the person we want. Because even at the interview there, they already started asking me how long I needed to give notice in my current job, and then showing me and telling me about the office, what I should expect, and all of that. So
So
it was actually it was very.
give me a thumbs up if you heard everything she said. Just give me a thumbs up. All right, thank you, Adine. Okay, let's come back to my slide. So that's exactly how the program ourselves. And trust me, all of the different programs we have are the different areas our interns have landed jobs. SOC, GRC, pen testing, data science, data analytics, data engineering, business analysis, project management. All these career paths are interns have landed jobs. So for you to be able to go out of the current state where you are stuck, you need experience, right? You need visibility that shows that you contributed before, and you need stories that also reduce hiring fear. Like I said earlier, you can only have this when you really gain the experience. So that's where internship comes in. So these are just more people that have landed jobs in the course of the internship, which I'm just kind of going to skip a couple of them. This is one other person. So before I come here, let me show you this one. So this person got a data analytics job, and she shared it with Jennifer. She says, "Hi, Jennifer. I just want to thank you and Amdari team for the amazing work you guys are doing. May God bless you all. Guess what? I got the job." This other person says, "I started getting interviews after joining Amdari. The CV revamp really helps me," right? And we have right here where this person says, "My intern landed a PM job at Deloitte." And of course, he landed the job just 3 months into getting into starting his internship. He shares the good news with his team leader and says, one day, which is brother, I just got a call from Deloitte that the interview was successful, starting onboarding in August to God be the glory. And his team leader, of course, congratulates him. And so, how are they able to do that? Because they practiced and gained experience through the internship program at Amdari. I saw the message that Amag dropped. No, it is not so expensive, and you will see what I mean. And payment is in 3 installments, even though it's not even expensive. So where Amdari comes in is we give you the proof that you need to stand out and show recruiters that you have contributed before. We also give you the experience that you need before you land the job, right? And the structure that makes you job ready, and the fact that the reference comes to attest to the fact that you have gained the knowledge and you can deliver on the job. So how do we help you achieve this? The first things first, you need to have gained experience. Then you work on projects and build portfolio that helps you go from being that person that is not that is stuck at the moment to landing the job. We have stakeholder meetings, client feedback, real business challenge, real tools, real collaboration and deliverables, and also the 4 months experience that helps you to stand out. So you've taken a course in all the career paths that recruiters are hiring for. But like I said earlier, you are struggling to get a job. Because what are the jobs that recruiters are hiring for? According to World Economic Group, it's the data engineering field, data analytics field, cybersecurity, HR, etc. Right? These are the career paths that recruiters are hiring for, and also business analysis and other career paths that I've mentioned. So every project you work on at Amdari is a perfect story waiting to be told, because it's going to give a signal to recruiters that you are the candidate for the job. Now, Sandra, for example, got a GRC role That's GRC in cybersecurity, governance, risk, and compliance. She got this role, and guess what? It was a data protection role she applied to, right? Which was what she actually got. But because of her GRC knowledge, they were like, GRC, is that a new field? Because they said they hadn't heard about it before. But because she had extensive knowledge beyond data protection, she could say more about um, risk, audits, etc., and everything that was beyond what a data protection officer would do. They were like, okay, we would really like to have you on our team. How did she become this GRC person? Through the internship program, right? This is also Betty. She interned under project management. On her LinkedIn, she put information technology project manager. She got a job 5 months, 4 months later, resumed in May. Because look at right here, project manager January at Amdari 2025 at an exact time like this last year. She already got a job April 2025. This can be you too, right? In just 2 months, 3 months, or 4 months time, you can also be one of the people whose stories will be sharing on a call like this with other people who will be hearing about Amdari later than now, right? So she has it on her LinkedIn right now, information technology business project manager with Eclipse IT Limited in the UK. So you can see where our interns are landing jobs, right? You can take her out, Betty Daddy can just go through to see the different ways that these people are getting jobs. So you're ready to take that leap of faith, just like Hamag is, indicating in the chat. But beyond every beautiful thing you get, you also get a dedicated team lead that works with you and a mentor. Is your team lead and mentor a volunteer mentor? No. Did Amdari put it out there? Please, we need volunteer mentors to work with our interns. No. They are full-time members that work with you and they are specialists in your field. If you're coming in as cybersecurity, so your team lead is not a generalist or a DRC person or pen tester. No, your team lead is a SOC specialist. And they have about 6-7 years experience working in that field. That's one. Secondly, because they are not volunteers, they are not doing you a favor. Your win, your success in this program is tied to their KPI. So they will be committed to seeing you grow and achieve the goal. What we always ask is, please work closely with us. Please work with us, right? To make it very easy for you to get the job. Now, this is, she handled August cohort last year, right? 2025. You can see, so the same way, if you guys on this call today join the February cohort, because the next cohort is starting on the 7th of February. We have people that started this January, right? 2 weeks ago. The next one is starting in about 3 weeks' time. So if you join this cohort, that's the same way you will have your own WhatsApp group for your team, because you won't be working alone. You will receive your onboarding email, your job description, right? And what you're expected to do in the program, etc. Then you take a look at this party message. So her team was onboarded in November 2025, and they shared their party messages. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you for all your guidance and support during my internship. I truly appreciate everything I have learned from you. To my amazing colleagues, see you all at the top. And this other person says, thank you, Jennifer, for being an amazing mentor. It was a pleasure meeting great minds. I pray we excel in our endeavors. And this other person, and she said, definitely going to miss the drop-in session. Drop-in session is like your stand-up meeting that happens in a tech team. Project managers and business analysts on the call will be able to relate. So this other person says, thank you, Amdari. I truly cherish every moment here. Within my first month of joining, I was fortunate to land my first data analytics role with a US-based fintech company. A special thanks to Jennifer for all your support. Now, this person said, within my first month of joining, I was fortunate to land my first data analytics role. Most people say, is the internship enough to get a job? Don't you think 4 months enough? No, people even get a job in a month. And this is a testament. I did not even know that this person landed the job. And you can see that she was just sharing this after she was leaving as just a normal message in their WhatsApp group. Jennifer shared this with me, Jennifer, their team lead. She shared it with me that, oh, my guys are really cutting onions on the group, just to say it in case. So she's just saying like, oh, their messages are they're getting her very emotional and all that, right? So these are the different ways, and this is how we're able to know that somebody got a job that early. Because sometimes people say, oh, what's the percentage? Trust me, not everybody even shares good news. I promise you. Now, this is one person, and it's her first job, and she got it in a month. Imagine you being that person, achieving that goal you typed in the chat for me today, achieving it by March, because like I said, your cohort is starting in February, right? We already have people that started in January. Imagine starting in February, and by March, you are telling me that you've landed a job, right? By April, you're telling me that you've landed a job. By May, you're telling me that's amazing. It's the same way that you are on this call today, that they all joined a conversation like this, and they took that step. And like I said, just give it your all. And Diary would support you, but please make it easy for us also. By doing your part, we would give you a kit on how to post about your experience and share your story on LinkedIn without saying you are an intern, right? How to also share business stories during interviews so that you're seen as a candidate. The way I narrated it, you're able to hit the nail on the head like that. And you ace your interview smartly, you stand out. That's exactly how this internship is going to help you. Because we create this kit and we send it to every intern. We create this kit and we give it the LinkedIn content kit and the interview content kit, interpreting your idea and experience and exposure so that you pass your interview. Like I said, we don't go about helping you land the job the traditional way. Oh, go watch top 10 videos on how to answer interview questions. No, we know what works. We know what they want to hear, right? So if you come into this program as a data analyst, you'd work with tools like Excel, Power BI, SQL, etc. And on some projects, you're a product analyst. On some projects, supply chain analyst. On some projects, logistics analyst, etc. The same thing applies to data science. You work with Azure, AWS, GCP, etc., Python. On some projects, you're a forecast analyst. Another project, by project, I'm saying those businesses that you're consulting for under and direct, right? Another project, you're a computer vision engineer. Another one, NLP developer. That's how you'll be building robust experience and solving business problems, not just random stuff, right? So as a data engineer, you'd work with Azure, you'd work with Docker Studio, you'd work with SQL, you'd work with PySpark, etc., even GCP, right? Some projects you're an ETL developer, some AWS cloud developer, Azure, GCP, data migration specialist, etc. The same thing for business analyst, right? On some projects, you are an operations analyst, another requirements analyst, another business process improvement analyst, etc. You'll be working with Notion, Draw.io, Power BI, because yes, you'll be exposed to the analytical side of data, business analysis, and all that. Then we also have project management, where you work with ClickUp, Jira, Confluence, Trello, Microsoft Project, etc., right? And Slack. And you'll be working on some project as Agile Program Manager, Project Scrum Master Consultant, etc., right? Even technical Scrum Master. And you'll be, okay, I mentioned the tools. Then cybersecurity field. For SOC, you work with Autopsy, you work with Wireshark. So projects, you're a security engineer, digital forensics engineer, incident response analyst, etc. Same for ethical hacker, right? On some projects, you're a penetration vulnerability researcher, red team operator, white hat hacker, etc. You work with tools like Nmap, Unito, Kali Linux, and all the likes. GRC also, you work with OpenGRC, you work with privacy tools, you work as an auditor for some business projects and the likes, right? So these are the different ways that the program is setting you apart. Now, these are more people I interviewed when they landed a job. I will not be boring you with all that because of time, and so I can take your questions. So, and we also have a job board where you can apply to different jobs and all that. I mentioned reference letter earlier. This is an example of somebody that requested for reference, and the company that they were applying to sent us an email. They said, Olainka has nominated you to provide an employment reference for the application to Healthcare Ireland. Please can you complete the attached form and return as your company. This one says the above names has been offered a position as a systems analyst to our company and has provided your details as a referee, etc. Right? So that's exactly how this works. So I'll skip all these because they're just not testimonials. So before I proceed, let me play one video for us for 15 seconds, right? Let's listen to how the reference letter at Amdari helped Toyin land a job. There were two people being considered, but she was picked because of the reference letter. Now, like I said, Amdari makes you 1% of the 1%. 1% of 1% of people that decide to take action, right? The remaining 99%, allow them to be the people that are comfortable with the low, the barrier that is already very low, the saturated market. But you see that 1% that is taking the step further, and that really even makes you that 1%. You hear now, because Pim said there were two people that made it to the final stage. She was picked because of the reference. So with Amjari's approach, if one thing does not work for you, another thing from the program will work. If another thing does not work, another thing. So if everybody else has this that you have, something else that Amjari has given you, they would not have it. That's why I said we create this kit, we share with you, so you know how to interpret your experience in an interview, so you ace it, right? So let me play this video with you.
Tools that I've learned at Tamdari, using them and all those. So it was pretty good. And then the reference too from your hand was pretty tight, because they actually had to mention it that my references were head tight, that they were actually considering two people, but my references actually nailed it for me.
Yeah. So that was the part I wanted us to hear. The company that hired her, they were considering two people, but she was picked because of the reference that Amjari gave her. So next cohort is on 7th of February, and enrollment is originally £500. But we're running a discount that allows you to pay £390, and you can split it in 3 installments, meaning you get to pay £130 today, and you get to pay another £130 in a month's time, and then your next payment is in March. That's your last payment, right? So, Hamad, you see what I said when I said it is very flexible and it's very affordable, right? So you get to spread your payments across 3 months, not one time. And because you're on the call today, we're running a discount limited to just the first 5 people that take advantage of this, because we are always trying to control the number of people that we take into the program. So you are interested in taking the next step. You want to apply for this program. It is very easy. The link on my screen is how you apply for the internship, and I will drop it in the chat for us right now. Okay, I'll drop it in the chat for us right now. So for you to apply to the internship, my colleague, so I'll take questions real quick. Don't worry. Okay, my colleague has dropped it already. So my colleague just dropped the enrollment link in the chat. It will show us how to secure our spot, and then I will come to taking questions right now. So please, I'll play this video for us. It's so you can watch the step-by-step of how you can secure your spot in this program. When you click on the link that I have shared and my colleague has shared in the chat, right? You click on the link my colleague has shared in the chat, you will just watch this video and see how it works. If you can't hear anything, do let me know, okay? If you can't hear anything, do let me know.
Hello, so today I'm going to be walking you through how to secure your internship through the Amdari platform. So first things first, click on the link that has been shared with you and navigate to the internship programs. When you do that, you'll be brought to this page. Just simply click on apply for internship. From here, you'll be brought to a page that has all the programs we currently offer. So click on the program that you're interested in. For the sake of this demonstration, I'll click on apply for internship with the data analytics track. Just click on apply now. You'll be brought to this platform, and the reason why you're brought here is because you currently do not have an account with Amdari. So just simply click on sign up for an account. From here, put in your details. Just put in your details. Your phone number is not compulsory. Okay. Okay. Let me see. What did I put there? Great. Okay. Now click on I have read the terms and condition, and then create account. Passwords do not match. Let me see. Why is that the case? Okay, I missed one. Okay. Now click on create account. An OTP will be sent to your email. So let's just see. An OTP will be sent to your email. Let's see. I'm waiting for mine to come. Great. Let's come. Okay. So this brings us to this page. From here, select the cohort you're interested in. I'll just leave it at February cohorts, but depending on the cohort you're interested in, make sure you click on the cohort. You also have the opportunity to select the currency that you want to pay in, either in pounds, USD, euro, or Canadian dollars. So I'll just leave it at pounds. We have 3 payment options: full payment, installment payment, that's 2 times, 3 times. So if you're going for the full payment, you have the opportunity to pay £350. But if you're going for either of the installment payments, you either go for 3 or 2, and you have to pay a total of £390. So let's just go for the 3-time payment so I can walk you through that and apply for discount. From here, you see all your information. If you notice that there's any correction that needs to be made, don't bother yourself. You will make the correction through your dashboard. Don't stress yourself. It's easy peasy. From here now, you get to see your preferred cohort that you selected, your payment plan, and the next day and the next payment date. So because I'm making this on the 14th of January, my next payment date will be exactly 1 month ahead. If you feel like it's not convenient and you'd want to extend your next payment, you have the grace period of extending it to the last day of the month. So instead of 14th, I can now go for 28th of February, which I have done. So save. Now from here, you see a breakdown of your payment. Your first payment is coming on the 14th of January. Your second payment is coming on the 28th of February. And your third payment is coming on the 28th of March. So this is just you confirming all your details. That's the essence of this page. Now, do not click on remove discount. Please don't do that if a discount is currently running. If you click on this, you're going to have to pay the full payment. So click on I can confirm that my information is correct and I have read the terms and condition, and pay now. You'll be brought to this page where you're expected to put in your card details. So I'm just going to put in my card details. So this is a dummy data. That is why I can do it live. So don't stress yourself. Okay, now where are you located? Simply, okay, and then E. When you do this, you'll be brought to this page. From here, just simply click on go to dashboard. So it's on your dashboard, like I mentioned earlier, that you have the opportunity to make any correction that needs to be made. Now, you pick the program that you're interested in. We have data analysis, because that's what I clicked on earlier. Also click on your skill level, your country of residence. So I'm going to select your country of residence. Select your gender. I'm a lady, so female. Now, how did you hear about Amdari? Did you hear about us through our ads, our LinkedIn, our Twitter, or through your friends and family? So for the sake of this demonstration, I'll just use friends and family. And then select the session that influenced your decision. So it could have been our Thursday or Friday career session. It could have been our Saturday info session, our clarity session, or none of the above, right? So for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to click on clarity session. Now, what influenced your decision to enroll for this internship? You have the ability to type that out. If you don't have anything to say, don't worry, you can leave it like that. And then if you have a referral code, you impute your referral code. Since I do not have, I'm just going to leave that like that. Complete setup. Now my dashboard has been created. So from here now, I'm going to just take you to the billing page because I want to show you something. On the billing page, you have that opportunity to see everything around your payment. So today you paid £130. The total amount you're supposed to pay is £390. So the total amount you haven't paid is £260, and the total overdue simply has to do with if your payment, the day for your payment comes, and you have not made your payment, you will see that number will show here. If you come down, you will see that you have made your first payment for for the February cohort on the 14th of January. This is paid. Your next payment is coming up on the 27th of February, and the next one after that is the 29th of March. So you get to see when you're supposed to make your next payment. So this is how easy it is to secure your spot using the Amdari platform. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So, yes, that's exactly how you secure your spot on the program, just like my colleague has demoed in the video. So, among me, I responded, yes, you can make your enrollment after you are off the wheel, right? So, but speaking of the wheel, it's so funny now that we're talking about breaking out of the wheel. So, Bolu, do you offer? Yes, so you can have the one-on-one clarity session. My colleague will drop the link shortly. Then I saw a very lengthy message from Abimbola regarding taking a course with a boot camp. They promised capstone project or so, but the hands-on experience, but they didn't get it. So Abimbola, this is not a boot camp. This is an actual work experience, not a training, not a training program. That was why I asked at the start of this conversation to know people that already took a course, right? Because Amdari is not for training, it's for work experience. And these are the different people that have also landed jobs, which I showed you. We have people that are yet to get jobs, yes, definitely. But trust me, there is a pattern with those that have gotten a job. It's the energy and the different strategies they use in applying. Amdari is already giving you everything. But if you're not also showing up, it's really going to affect whether or not you get the job, right? So Amdari is not a boot camp, it's not a training program. We're not promising experience as part of what you will do when you're taking your course. No. Experience is the actual thing you're coming here for. From your own body, on the 7th, you get introduced to your team and your team lead, the people you'll be working with for the next 4 months. So this is you just coming for experience. There is no training at all, right? That's exactly what you get. So I hope that answers your question. Then I think we have 2 more Omis on the call. So one Omomi said that, sorry, trying to see the message. Okay, I think that was the, I'm trying to see the message, but I'll just call that because it seems like it's gone off. Okay, how do we manage different time zones? So they have different teams for different time zones. Hammer, we have different teams for different time zones. That's how we manage it. So just let us know what your time zone is. But majority of our, like 98% at the moment, UK. We're planning to increase it for other locations like US and Canada, so it's more. But that's why I said different teams with different time zones. But majority of our interns are from the UK, or they live in the UK. Let me put it that way. So yeah, that's how we manage different time zones. So I'll take your question, Omarimi, shortly. I'm trying to see, because a couple of people dropped comments in the chat. So I'm trying to see if I missed. I know that there was a message I missed. But let me scroll down. So Omar, if I missed your message, please drop it again so I can go through it. Are we going to be working with a real company? You'll be working directly under Amdari for these businesses, right? Or directly under Amdari. So it's not like Amdari is placing you to go work with them. That was how we used to do it, but they would always just, it wasn't a reliable process. They'll tell us we're taking 3 interns, they come back and say we can't take any, or we can take 1. It sounded like number, but we're going back to disappoint other people, right? So we had to build a system at Amdari that accommodates as many people as possible. Is the internship in person, or we would work from home? It's work from home. It's work from home. It's on or it's remote, not on site. It's remote. You'll be working from home, right? And that's why you have your WhatsApp group, and then you also have your team, right? On what's it called now? You have your team on. You have your team meetings twice every week, right? So the team meetings, they are virtual. They are like stand-up meeting. And it's just where you guys share updates, the task you're working on, whatever it is you're struggling with, and your team lead is on all of these calls. All of these calls, your team is on them. So yes, so for everybody who is planning to secure their spots, use the steps that I showed us via the meeting and this conversation to secure your spots, all right? And we would be happy to have you. The minute you enroll, your access to the website is unlocked, right? Your access to the free crash courses on the website is unlocked. And I think Abimbola asked something about hand holding. You get that in this program. You are handheld, even with an internship. Yes. Jennifer, can I make payment on 27th of January? Okay, yeah, that's fine. We're going to note that down, and my colleagues will be in touch with you around that time. So yes, that's okay if you want to pay around that time. Or if you want to secure your spots using this discount, you have between now and 24 hours. So midnight tomorrow, we're closing this discount slot. Midnight tomorrow, we're closing this discount slot. So if you want to use this discount, please enroll between now and tomorrow. Well, Jennifer, we most likely might also help you secure that since you asked. Good evening. I hope everything promised in terms of hands-on is. Wasiu, I am giving you my word on this call. Yes, hands-on experience is what you get. Hands-on is not theoretical. You're not watching tutorial videos. It's not a course. It's hands-on project experience. It's a work experience program. So I am giving you my word on this call. You get hands-on project experience, solving business problems across different industries. You get it through a project review session. Your team lead works with you closely to solve all of these problems. Okay, Abimbola says I'm with you. That's why the payment is flexible, right? We're so sure that you will like it. Why would one of our interns that landed a job within a month continue with the program? She could have stopped and not paid the balance. You pay in 3 installments. She got a job in her first month, right? And you see that you can even extend the days you pay your second installment, just like the demo we showed you. So we're very certain that you will love the experience and you will complete the program. That's why you pay in 3 installments, right? So please, 2 slots with discounts for us on. Oh, okay, that's what you mean by I'm with you. Okay. Sorry, you have not answered my question, please. What's your question? Can you paste it again? Because the comments are getting a lot in the chat, so I'm missing some. Is there a way I can speak to someone one-on-one so that I am able to freely express myself? Okay, Abimbola, my colleague will drop her phone number. Jennifer, please can you drop your phone number and refer her to Christiana? So Jennifer will drop her phone number and you speak to Christiana, one of the career coaches that we have. So she'll speak to you on the call. She will respond to your questions like I won't. But if you still want to speak to me, I am very much available. Jennifer will share my number with you also. But please copy Jennifer's number and speak to her. She will, if it's something you have to still speak to us about, that's fine. She will either give you my number or my colleague's number, Christiana. So you either hear from any of us. Adeni, it's surprising that you're struggling to get access. It's me, I'm on the call. So Jennifer, please, let me copy out Adeni's name. I hope this is the name you use in creating access, Adeni. So immediately after this call, you'll be granted access. Have you enrolled? Have you paid? If yes, I would grant you access immediately after this call. So I'll grant you access. So Jennifer, please just note his name also, and you'll be granted access. Same name also. Maybe when I'm done answering everybody's question while on this call, I'll just take the opportunity to quickly grant you access before dropping off. Okay, Omomi, yes, she'll give you my number. I'll drop it when I'm done answering everybody's question also. But please, that's my colleague's number. Just quickly copy it also, because I'm speaking, so I don't want to. For Omaremi, please go on and ask your question. I'll come back to the chat after Omaremi has spoken. So if you have a question you want to speak, feel free to unmute or rather raise your hand and you will be allowed to unmute after I have spoken to Omaremi. So we'll take a few questions on this call, maybe 2, 3, right? And if I don't get to answer your question, I promise you can still speak to me within the week. So right now, my colleague will drop a link for you to fill our clarity form. So Jennifer, please drop the link. Okay, yes, Omaremi, should share my number with you. Okay, unmute. Okay, Jennifer, I think she can't unmute. So please, done. So you can unmute now. So everyone else, in case I can't take more than 4 questions because of time, so you all can rest. So I can also rest. So I am available Mondays to Fridays for clarity call, 12 p.m. Then my colleague is available 8 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. So you can still speak to us further. But please, if you would like to still, or rather, you can still secure your spot today. and still speak to us to get other clarity that you need. Like I said, I'm available 12 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. You will meet me on the call. My colleague, 8 p.m. Mondays to Fridays, you would meet her on the call, right? So feel free to book. My colleague has dropped the link, so you can book the session. But for your payment, she just drops a second link for you to make your payment. You can pay today with the first £130 and your next installment be in February. And it's just so you can take advantage of this discount. And like I said, this discount means you get to pay £130 today. Your next payment, £130. Your last payment, £130. Thank you, Omarimi. Please unmute and speak.
Right. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for this insightful session. Honestly, I have learned so much. Thank you so much for really explaining in detail. So presently, I've come from Tenalytics, and we've had the CV revamp, everything. I'm presently in the August 2025 cohorts, and then I'm to graduate in March this year. So my question is, because I know in Tenalytics, what majorly taught everything we need to know, Excel, Python, machine learning, everything we're meant to know. And I know most people kind of struggle with jobs, or I don't want to struggle with jobs. So I just want to know, how then can we benefit from this diary program? That's what I want to know, because I have seen from this session, this is all about landing the job, which I am interested in, landing a job within the next 3 months. So how then can we benefit from this program? That's what I want to know, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Omarimi, for that question. How do you benefit from this program? It's by enrolling and taking part in the internship program. So like I've broken down so far, what gets you hired is not the course that you're currently taking, the tutorials and all that. It's the experience that gets you hired. And because that level is missing most times, we struggle to get the job, right? And at the end of the day, the reason why you even enrolled for a tech course is because you want to transition into tech. And transitioning does not mean, oh, yeah, I actually took a data science course, so I know data science. I know how to use Python. I know how to write codes in Python, right? I know machine learning algorithms. It's not to say that. It's to say that I have a job now as a data scientist, but the courses we take are not built to make us job ready. I also took a course in software engineering. I had to go through internship to land my first job, right? Because I needed to build that experience, the competence and capacity that these recruiters are hiring for. That's exactly what Diary is giving me. That experience, that story, that knowledge, right? Everything from what I broke down. Also, when I was giving that instance, and I used Dominique as an example in the conversation as the project manager, right? And I said, imagine her having a story like this during an interview and understanding the business needs, tying it to her work as the project manager and the different teams she worked with, and highlighting the fact that she has been exposed to an actual system and this is what she did. That's exactly what Diary gives you. The exposure, the signals that will make the recruiters know that you can do the job, and also the CV that will revamp for you, the LinkedIn we optimize, the interview prep sessions that you have. Those are the different things that helps you become job ready and stand a chance to be the person, right? So, and the interview prep session happens every Thursday throughout your internship. This is an example of one of the interview prep sessions that we've had. I'll show you my screen now. I might not be able to play it, right? So it was one we had with Santiago. So the screen is loading. So we had it with Santiago. Santiago is one of our data, Santiago right here. He's one of our data engineering interns in the program, right? And right here is Chichi, his team lead, data engineering team lead. Santiago was interview prepped on this call. This interview prep happens every Thursday throughout the internship. So these different steps, these different activities help you become the candidate that gets the job. So these are the different ways that we help you to go from being, just an enthusiast to becoming a practicing professional. And it's that practicing professional that recruiters hire. Does that answer your question?
And no, it doesn't, because presently with my program on Saturdays, we've got our live classes. On Wednesdays, we have our drop-in sessions. On Thursdays, we have our mentorship program. So Wednesday we have our drop-ins, Thursdays we have our mentorship, every Saturdays, almost every Saturdays we have our live classes. From time to time we've got projects to do, assignments. I need to follow up on Watch Me Do It videos. Our CV has been optimized since last year. I've got Amdari on my LinkedIn. It's all been done for us. So I just want to know, because I just don't know how people say, oh, they apply to 200 jobs, 100. I just can't do it. Max, I want to apply to 10 jobs and get maybe 4 interview invites and get my job, because I really do not have all that energy for applying to 500 jobs. Trust me, I don't have it. I can't do it. So that's why I just really want to know how, because I know, because being a student of 10 analytics, I know Amdari and 10 analytics, I know they're kind of together. That's what I think. But I don't know how then can you then help us, because I know we're getting all these skills from 10 analytics, but I'm really kind of more interested in interviews, landing a job, because I'm almost come to the end of my program. So that's just where I want to know how Amdari can support us.
Okay. So I have answered this question over and over, right? How can we help you with the interview? I mentioned it already. We have interview prep sessions with you every Thursday, right? So you said, oh, you already have the CV revamp and all that with analytics, but you don't have an actual work experience. What you have, analytics is training, and that is work experience, right? And that is not training. You are coming to work on business problems, working in teams. It's not the same thing. You need to experience to be able to separate the difference. So I don't know if this explanation is breaking down the difference for you or not, but it's not the same thing. And I've mentioned the interview part. The interview prep happens every Thursday. You need to experience it to know what I am saying, right? Then applying to 10 jobs, getting 4 interviews. That's not something I'm very can control. You can't apply to 10 jobs and get 4 interviews. I promise you, right? There are different ways to also be an intelligent job seeker. I always say this. Showing up on LinkedIn is very important. One thing that worked for me to get my first job was not to apply via job board. I got my first job by shooting my shot to the DM of a recruiter. I went for an internship. Yes. Was I told to do that? No. I figured it out myself, right? So it's not like, so the system is going to build you, obviously, but there are things that you also just need to be able to do yourself. So you can't apply to jobs on a job board and expect that maybe 4 would happen. Is it possible? Yes. But the chances, the odds, it's very slim. So shoot your shot to DMs of recruiters. That's why we have mentorship session with our interns, right? Now, again, you might say, oh, yes, we've done mentorship. How is Amdari's no different? You have to experience it to know the difference, because Amdari's mentorship session is where we also share the kits on how you can interpret your experience on LinkedIn. So you're not looking like an entry-level person or a job, okay, oh, I'm an enthusiast, right? The payment link is not opening. That's strange. Please, Jennifer, can you check the payment link? I'm opening it. It's opening. Yeah, I just opened it. Let me paste it for you. So as I was saying, Omar Remy, right? This particular program positions you very well, but you also need to look at other ways to apply. And we don't leave it to you alone. The hidden job market, if you don't show up on LinkedIn, how would anybody spot you? I got my second job via the LinkedIn DM that was sent to me by a recruiter. And that's because I was showing up. How do you tell your interview stories, or rather your experience stories on LinkedIn? All this is not something I can break down on this call, because it's mentorship conversation on its own. But I can just give you the headlines. These are the kind of conversations we have. And after these conversations, you're meant to take action. Send a DM to a kind of recruiter you want to apply to. We have templates for you. That's why we create kits every now and then. The hidden job market is there also. Take advantage of that, right? The mentorship, your team lead is also there. This is not course. This is not tutorial. Everything you've done with analytics, Amdari adds to it. Amdari adds to it by taking it a step further. We would still revamp your CV with the actual contribution you'll be making to these businesses this time around. So it's not a generic, okay, now your CV carries that you've done this or you've done that. Does it really carry? Is it really something you've done? If you go for an interview, how would you defend it? Right? That's because it's a training program. But how you defend it is what you get at Andai because they are actual projects you will do. So we update your CV with that actual impact you made. That's why you hear the story shared by Jerry. That's how you hear the one shared by Anita. Now, oh, you have a goal, you want to get it, you don't want to apply too much jobs. Just be strategic. Is it possible? Yes. Somebody got a job in a month. It's possible. But how strategic are you with your application? It's not just relying on job board. It doesn't. I have never used a job board to date to get a job. My first job, I shoot my shot. My second job, I got a DM from a recruiter. I guess so because I was doing my homework. I was showing up on LinkedIn. I was posting. My third job recommendation, fourth job recommendation. That's all. And here I am today, co-founder and Dari, right? So but when I was applying to jobs, how was my journey? So you need to be that person that also takes advantage of other means of applying. It works. Promise you it works, right? Yes, you can still apply via job boards, but do not rely on that just that one. So I don't know if this has kind of answered your question at this point. So
Yeah, yes, thank you. It has to an extent, but I don't know if there's someone I could speak to privately because there's some things I wouldn't want to say here.
okay.
Yeah.
You can speak to me privately if
All
it's
right.
just want to share off the call.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much.
Because,
Thank
yeah,
you.
I feel like there are some things I'm not hearing also, right? Yeah, there are some things I'm not hearing, but we'll have a conversation after.
Yeah, yes, please. Yeah, a private one. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Hi, Omomi. It feels strange pronouncing my own name, but it's not me that is being called. So, hello.
Hello, good
That's
evening.
somebody. Good evening.
Yeah, I asked a question, but I was not sure if you got my question. I wanted to ask what if I don't have experience as a project manager? What if I had not taken any course as a project manager at all?
Learning experience is your question.
Sorry,
You
what
need
did
to
you
take
say?
course. I said learning experience because she said experience, so I thought you meant work experience.
Yes, that's why I had to,
Okay. So you need to go take a course. So Omarimi mentioned something. She said she's currently taking a course, right? With our training partner. She was like, oh, I feel like you guys, yes, we have a training partner. You can take your course with them. We always recommend people when they join our session like this, and it happens that they are yet to take a course. But we have crash course on our Dari website. I don't discourage the usage of these crash courses, but if you're the type of person that just needs so much hand holding, right? I would advise you go take a course with our sister company. But if you're the type of person that I can actually watch crash courses, I can watch tutorial videos, and I will understand, then you can take this. You don't pay extra for this. Your training, your internship is already what you pay for. We just make this a program that is easily accessible for you. Because one thing is, even people that are taking courses before, we get instances of, I took the course 6 months ago, I have forgotten something. I took the course 1 year ago, I've forgotten something. Because you are speaking about project management, let me come to project management. So you see project management crash courses, it starts from the beginning up until the advanced level. So you see project management fundamentals, introduction to project management methodology, project management initiation, the project initiation phase, project management structure, the project planning phase, blah, blah, blah. Just scroll down, advanced Scrum, etc. We have all these crash courses free to every intern in the program. But if you are that kind of person that you can't learn on your own, I would advise you to go for analytics course, right? But if you're that person that you can learn on your own, because already this is an internship program and you have your team, right? You will still be able to have them help you understand some things. But you have to be that person first that is disciplined and can easily commit because you don't have the knowledge. So your own case is different from every other, like Omaremi has already taken a course, she wants to enroll, she can easily understand how to navigate, right? But in your case, you're not taking the course. So you would need to catch up with them. So can you take these courses in like the next 3 weeks? When I transitioned into tech, I took a self-paced course. I watched the videos on my own. No trainer, nothing. After that course, I did it for 2 months and then I immediately went for internship. 4 months into my internship, That's 6 months now, right? I got a job. So my tech journey was just 6 months, 2 months learning. There was no time to waste because I knew that this my learning, I need internship. So I immediately went in for internship. 4 months later, I got a job. So everything is 6 months, and the journey has just been, oh, shoot your shot, oh, DM from recruiter, then recommendation, and that's all. So it's easy, but you just have to be committed. So I don't know if you're not that kind of person that can learn on their own. People are different, they learn differently. Please enroll with our sister company. Okay. So Omori,
Yeah, and I have a second question.
okay.
Do we need to actually have the Prince 2 certification or something before we get internship
No,
and things like that?
no, you don't need certification. I don't have a single certification, and I'm a project manager. And I've gotten jobs as a project manager, and I don't have a single. What they care about is just what you can do. Show me what you've done before. Assessment test, interview, ACEs. And like I said, where I gave you guys that instance, that's how I always approach my interviews. And also letting them know that as a teammate, as a contributor on any team, you are, just go and sleep. I would own my own process and even the one that does not concern my department end to end. That's how I sell myself and I get the job every time. So yeah, you don't need certification for this internship. So this experience is a must-have. Certification is a nice to have. I'm not discouraging the certification aspect. You can get it, right? It's not a must-have. Experience will get you a job faster than certification. So if you have certification here, it's nice, it's cool, but prioritize experience. Did you get that, Omar Oyekuka?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, Omar said, so I'm calling surnames now because I see we have two. You said, can we have access to these free courses before internship? Immediately you pay now, it's unlocked. So you know how the demo went, right? Just scroll down and come to learn, and you have your access. Just scroll down and come. The minute you're redirected, you've taken the entire process with what? Just come to learn, open it, and come to crash courses. Your access is unlocked immediately. Yes. So before I take the next question from Hama and Jennifer, let me see if I missed a question in the chat. Sorry, please. Okay. Okay, how can I reach out to you? We got Jennifer's number, not just. I'll type my number. Just okay. Let me just hold on, please. Let me just type my WhatsApp number. It's easy to reach me faster here. To just use this WhatsApp number, it's my current active WhatsApp line. I'm going through the number to be sure I'm not typed rubbish for you. Okay. So that's my number. So just send me a message on WhatsApp. Omarimi, also send me a message on WhatsApp and we can have a conversation from there. So I am not seeing any chat that I have missed. Please, if I missed your chat, I'm sorry, I'll still come back. I'm really looking at everything right now, and the one I see is just the one about my number. So let me take Hamad. Hi, Hamad. Please, if you're enrolling, don't forget to finish the entire process, okay? We will.
Hi, Omawumi. Sorry, I'm not Yoruba, so your name, I'm gonna murder it a little.
Okay.
Um,
Omaomi, you kind of got it right the second time.
okay, that's interesting. Sounds good. Thank you. So my question is, first, the time different. I'm on CST.
Mm,
That's like 6 hours behind you.
yes.
How do we go around that? Because I don't want to jump into a program where when people are learning that that's my sleeping time. You
Mm,
understand? I know currently you're already dead into the night. That's okay. No, they are like 10:25 p.m. currently, right?
yes,
That's
yes,
that's it by your time. And now I'm at 4:25 p.m.
yes.
So that's my first question. Then my second question is um, skilled in banking, and I'm actually going into cybersecurity. I have all of it. Like I said earlier, the portfolio, because building portfolio, getting certifications and all that, but experience matters. That is what they are really looking for, the employers. So because from all that you've been talking about, I could see you stress data, and all that. So people like us that really want to go into maybe cyber, I could do cyber security and all of those security analysts, but because of my banking experience, I want to go into GRC where auditing and all that because I have those as experience way back from Nigeria and all that. So do I have like will I be able to get like a mentor, like a team lead in that?
Yes.
Since you've really not been mentioning GRC, cybersecurity, and all of those. SOC, I don't want to go into SOC. I know from what I saw, I clicked the link. I saw SOC. I saw something like, yeah, yes, I saw this. You want to show me finance, right? Fine, okay. So that's one thing. But my major concern is the timing. My major concern is the timing. So because if it's whenever I want to do anything, if it's not Canada, US, because the time zone are quite close, some part of US is EST and it's just like an hour difference. I could still jump into a call, but with WAT and all of those is really far. So how do I cope if you have 98% or more than 90% of your interns being in the UK, possibly in Nigeria? I don't know. So how do I cope with this? How do I work around that?
Very much. Yes, so like I said earlier, right, we have different teams for different locations, or let me just say different time zones. So we have different teams. So you will be working with the North American team, not the UK, or yeah, not the UK team, right? So you'll be working with the North American team. We have some of the co-founders of Andari also joining from Canada. So it's not like Amdari itself does not have its team spread across. We have team members in Nigeria, UK, and Canada. So definitely, and like I said, we have teams in Canada and also the US. So we're working with separate teams, not the UK team, right? Does that answer your first question? I still want to respond to your second.
Yeah. What did you say?
Yeah, I said, does that answer your first question? Because I still want to respond to your second question.
Yeah, that does. I think my second question from every other one that you've been answering, I think you've answered it because my major concern is the time.
Yes.
Because I like life. I really don't like recorded. If I say I want to watch recording, I will never watch it.
I get
That type that I like hands on. If it's not happening every time, if I say I
one
want to
on
do
one
it again.
time. Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
like it real time. As it's happening, let me watch it. Let me listen
That's
so that I can ask
everything. That's
questions.
the program. It's real
Any
time.
recording, if I say I
So
want to go and watch recording, I just throw the other money away. I will never watch it. If I start it 10 minutes into the time, I'm already bored. I'll just get distracted and move on.
all your meetings. That's great because we like people that are active also. They'll show up for their meetings, their sessions, and conversations. So yeah, so for GRC, we have people that landed jobs in GRC, and that was I mentioned Sandra earlier, right? So we had a conversation on how she landed the job. Not just her, quite a number of them. But, I cannot pack every testimonial in just one conversation. So yeah, we have in SOC, the guy that got a visa sponsorship job is under SOC, Pedro. So we have in SOC, we have in pen testing. So it's different programs that we have it.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kunal. Okay, so the last question I'll be taking for today is going to be Jennifer. Please, for every other person, if you wanted to speak to me or you want to speak to me and you're unable to do that on this call today, please feel free to fill the link that my colleague is dropping to book clarity session conversation, right? So the conversation is going to be me attending to anything that you might have wanted to, like with like 10 people, it's not like 30, 40, 50, right? But my number is there if you just want to have like that one-on-one conversation with me also. I dropped my number. If you didn't get it, let me know and I'll drop it again, right? So let me take Jennifer right now. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi. Right. Okay. So I think Omowumi asks, was it Omowumi? Asks almost the same question because for me, I'm interested in data analysis but I have zero experience in it. So you mentioned about taking trainings before internship. So now my worry is if I have to pay for this internship and do not have a background in data analysis, would that be much of a problem to me? Because I just want to get, I just want to decide now if I should go for the training first and then
So
come on with the internship, or if I join the internship, I could just catch up without having to struggle so much.
please take the training first, then come for the internship. Data analytics, right?
Yes.
Yeah, take the training first, and then you can come for the internship.
Okay. Could you
We're
please
always
type?
here. The
Could you please
sister
type
company. Don't worry, they will reach out to you, but let me type it. So let me type it. So this is their website address. So let me just type www.analytics. So that's their website address. So if you check, you can get the contact detail of somebody from there and you can reach out to them. It's very easy, right? So you can just do that.
Right. So that means I won't have to join the February cohort anymore.
Yes, yes, yes. You can come back when you've taken the course. It's easier that way.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. So it's been a pleasure speaking to everybody on the call. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. I had so much fun speaking to us. Please. So Victor, I dropped my LinkedIn because I see your message regarding my LinkedIn. So I dropped my LinkedIn. So the clarity session is actually 12 p.m. every day. My colleague just dropped the link again. But if you're referring to a normal one-on-one, just send me a message on WhatsApp. I'll respond. Really. And from that response, we can now book a time for call, say tomorrow. If you're available tomorrow. I know tomorrow is Sunday, right? So we'll see if we can talk tomorrow or if it's going to be a chat, trust me, we'll be done with our conversation even this night because I'm always active, always active. So we'll be done with our conversation. But if it's call, we can do that tomorrow. I know that it's already late, right? So we can have the call tomorrow. Just let me know the time that works for you and I'll call you, right? So we can do that. But yes, I think that's pretty much it. So Victor, that's my LinkedIn name, Omowumi, without the N on LinkedIn, right? You guys don't mind me, I'm not a Lagos per se, right? So where I come from, we don't have N in the Wumi. It's not Wumi, it's Wumi. So, but somehow it has N here. So please, it's Omowumi without the N, Victoria Samson on LinkedIn. So I wanted to send the link, but I don't know. I don't have the link handy right now. So you just click on the link and it will just take you to my page. But just copy the name and paste it and you'll find me on LinkedIn. Okay, so thank you so much everyone for your time on the call today. It's been a pleasure. We look forward to having you all secure your spot and go. Like I said, the bar is very low. Please don't be one of those that would just stick and be comfortable. Take it a step further, take the necessary step, advance in your career, and it's not even that competitive. It's just when we do what every other person is doing that it seems like we're competing with those doing the basics, right? So I'm trusting that we will have a couple of you join us in the program. So we look forward to having you. Thank you all so much for your time on the call today.